listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for a gateway to the spirit world with Gail Moffat. Live.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Insights by Janita with Janita Francis. Live from insightsbyjanita.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Insights by Janita
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good morning. Oh, good evening. It's morning over here in Australia, and it's evening for you guys in the US. I hope that your week is improving. Look, we're in these weird, wacky times at the moment where there's so much uncertainty. But what I have noticed in the last week or so is the number of people that are actually starting to do different things that they never have done before. I've done so many readings for people that have just gone, I feel so lost. My whole entire life was my job. I'm an executive, I'm a CEO, I'm this person, I'm that person, all these labels. And now that they can't go into work, we're on stage 3 lockdown, which means that if you don't have to absolutely positively go into work, then you need to stay home where we live. And a lot of people are really struggling with what their identity is without this job. And even though they're going back to the job, you know, the jobs haven't dissolved into thin air and never to be seen again. But a lot of people valued themselves on their job. A lot of people thought, I am this, therefore I am. And it's really been very interesting to watch people transform from what they thought was so important in their lives to what is actually important in their lives. And I think, you know, when we get on the other side of this, however long it may take, and I absolutely know it's going to be about 4 weeks. It's not going to be 3 months at all. But when we get on the other side of this, it's going to be it's such a different approach to work. I really don't want anyone to go back into the same old Groundhog Day that they were experiencing before. I really want people to go, you know what? Yes, it was testing. It was challenging. But I pushed through all of those challenges, and I found a side of me that hadn't been there, or I didn't realize was there, or I reconnected with my partner, I reconnected with my kids, or I hadn't spent so much time talking to my friends on social media that I did when I wasn't able to go and visit them, and we've deepened our relationships, and I've deepened what the meaning of life is for me, and that would be the ultimate goal for everyone to achieve, because, you know, without a doubt, Corona has certainly caused a big chaos right across the entire world, and there's so much other stuff going on as well, you know, that will come out in the wash. And I've done a couple of higher realm downloads, which is when I actually channel directly from the higher realm, and they're on my YouTube channel, so if you'd like to check those out, please do. There will be more coming through as well, now that I've asked if it's okay if I continue to record these sessions, and I've been granted to do so. So it's really interesting what's happening with, you know, a lot of the conspiracy theories that we were thinking about previously are actually starting to manifest right before our eyes, and a lot of things that we questioned before, you know, we've got more questions now, but things in some crazy way are actually starting to make a little bit more sense for a lot of people. I've noticed that here, our the lizards in our backyard are actually like tripling every single day, just about. We've got lots of lizards. We're on a quarter of an acre, so we have lots of, not wildlife so much, but little critters and things running around, and they don't seem to be as shy anymore. So, there's one small positive for me, but, the grass seems to be greener, and the things that we maybe didn't pay much attention to before, we're changing our perception. We're changing the way we view it. There's another thing that's come up a lot is fear. And, there's a couple of acronyms around that: forget everything and run. So fear, forget everything and run. Or and what I've been teaching people for years and years is to feel emotion and release. And that's what fear is all about. I mean, if we go to a scary movie and we watch it with someone who giggles all the way through, it's a little bit hard to take the scariness seriously because we've got a giggle pot next to us. And then that person starts giggling and the next person starts giggling and we're all laughing about silly stuff, and all of a sudden the fear that we felt watching that horror movie is no longer there. And I know that this is real life. It's not a horror movie. But it's a similar sort of thing when we're surrounded by heightened emotions, whether they're positive emotions or whether they're fear-based emotions. We will tap into that energy. The sense of connection that we want to have as human beings, it's quite strong. And unfortunately, it's fear that's connecting us at the moment. And, a lot of people are acting, in ways that they actually hadn't thought they'd ever act before. I know that here in Australia, and I'm almost ashamed to say it, but we've actually had women in my own age group become quite violent and very aggressive and combative in supermarkets and in restaurants before we closed them down, and in takeaway outlets. And it's certainly shown a side of people that, we're middle-aged mums, we're not young kids anymore. We're not supposed to behave like that. I'm not really. So it certainly put people into a corner, and they've reacted in ways that perhaps they themselves never knew that they would react like that. We've also had people, unfortunately, spitting in fruit here, and they've since been arrested, which is just, I just can't seem to get my head around that style of behaviour. So the fear has really created a situation where people are just not behaving how they would normally behave. And we need to bring that back a little bit and think about, am I buying into the fear that's surrounding all of the things that are going on in the world at the moment, or am I keeping my calm state where I need to keep calm? And so my immune system is working at its optimum best. Because, when you get down into those fear, you get the depression, and then you get isolated, and then, you don't want to go out, and fear takes over and makes all your decisions so much harder. So it can really bring your immune system down at the same time because they're a lower frequency. You really need to be up in those higher frequencies for you to be able to maintain your health, mental health as well, not just physical health. So it's really interesting watching some of the people that I've read for 14, 15 years have said, do I have anything to worry about with this? And I'm like, no, these are the things you need to do. You need to practice good hygiene. You need to do the things that the government is giving you the guidelines on, but you also need to use your intuition and trust what's happening around you and trust how you feel around the situation as well. And, I can guarantee you that if you stop and sit and really pay attention to how you're feeling, you are absorbing other people's energies and buying into that fear, which is not good for anybody. It's just really not. So we will get through this. When it was not the end of our civilization. It's we did a little test on numbers here in Australia, and a flu season actually decimates more families and causes more deaths than the coronavirus. So there's a lot of hype going on, and I really urge you to try to remain as calm as possible and really have a look at researching a little bit for yourself, trusting your inner gut. We're very intuitive beings. It doesn't matter whether you're here on A1R Psychic Radio, you haven't been discovered yet, or you just get these funny little feelings. Everybody has an intuitive ability. And, now's the time for us to tap into that and see how we're actually feeling about this scenario and what's happening, as opposed to letting other people dictate those terms for us. So relationships has come up a lot too. A lot of people are strengthening relationships. A lot of relationships are starting to fall by the wayside because they've been distracted by their work, or they've been distracted by their family, or dropping the kids off, picking the kids up, taking them to school, taking them to soccer, and all those sorts of everyday things that distract people. So, if you're in a relationship that needs a bit of work, now is the time to do that. That is the perfect distraction, your relationship with your loved ones. Use this time to be able to strengthen them, to understand each other, to find new coping mechanisms, to find new ways to communicate. And, if your relationship is going from strength to strength, my husband and I personally, we've been working all the way through in our other jobs. We're very, very fortunate in that regard. And, we've got a wonderful relationship. And I said to him the other day, maybe we should see if we can go on leave and let somebody else come back to work. And he's like, that'd be great. So we're actually looking forward to having a little bit of time when we get through the busyness that has now been chucked at us in our respective jobs. So, just to debrief, I suppose, and we talk to each other every single day about everything that's going on. So we're very, very fortunate. So I urge you to do the same. Talk to your partners, talk to your loved ones, and see how they're feeling. Test in with your mates. Say, how's this going for you? And use this time to deepen your relationship, because the more you spend time doing the things that you love and that you appreciate, more your frequency will lift. And the more your frequency lifts, the higher your immune system lifts as well, okay? So just little tricks that will get us through this. Another little thing that I've been sharing with a lot of people is frequency 528. So if you jump on YouTube and you type in 528HZ, so hotel, Deborah, HZ, and have a look at the transformation tone. And they're meditations that you can do that would just, when you listen to them, and they are like songs, okay? So if you find one that drives you a bit batty because it's not your style of song, just move on to the next one. But the 528 hertz is where the frequency will shift your body. It'll shift your frequency that you're sending out as well. It'll just balance you out. It'll settle down your solar plexus, which is where all your emotions are dealt with. It will also help with psychic traumas. If you're not familiar with that term, it's when you get like a little wart on your psyche, and the wart is formed when you have a positive and a negative emotional response to something at the same time. So for me, it was excitement, and every time I was excited as a child, somebody came along and destroyed that excitement every single time. So I associated things that if I don't get excited, then I won't get the negative, and that stopped me from experiencing what true excitement was. And now I get excited at like the best of things, because I know that it's not a negative. I know that I'm not going to get ridiculed for being excited. So that's what a psychic trauma is in a nutshell. So, for you to work on those things as well. And this was 528 frequency will help you do that. It will elevate you, relax you. There's one in particular that I really like personally, and that is the one that has like a gold lotus coming out of the screen when you first start it. That is one of my favorites. I just find within a couple of minutes of listening to it, I just start to relax a little bit more. And I don't try to visualize. I don't try to do anything fancy. I do all the naughty things that you're taught not to do. I fold my arms, I cross my ankles, I lay down, I sit up, lay on the couch, I stick cushions under my knees and my neck, and do whatever is comfortable for you. It really doesn't matter. We're such individual, complex people that, if you're comfortable, you will do it. If you're uncomfortable, you won't do it because you'll hate it. And, the whole idea is to enjoy it and to do it often. So it's in your best interest. What else is going on at the moment? I know that and within the next couple of days, a lot of people are actually starting to feel I actually have the worst headache right now. So I'm having a little bit of trouble formulating my words from my brain to my mouth. And a lot of people are experiencing different things. They're going through different purges and different shifts. And some people are getting vertigo, so they're feeling a little bit dizzy. It kind of feels like your blood pressure is off, but you haven't just got up too quickly or sat down too quickly. So it's there's lots going on. You might, some other people, I had a lady tell me recently, she said, I don't drink and I feel like I've had too many wines. And I'm like, that's your shifting, your body is processing all the changes that are happening in the world. It's not as busy. I can lay in my bed at night time and not hear sirens and not hear the normal chatter or somebody's music. It's really very quiet. I actually love it. I'm an introvert, so I'm really enjoying it. But the things that are happening for people and the shifts that are going on, the purging that's happening for us as well. A lot of people are just crying for absolutely no reason. I had a lady earlier today, she said we were just having a normal conversation about stuff, and she said, and here comes the tears. And when that happens, your body is emotionally responding to things, even, if it's not as elegant and it's perhaps you're releasing in other ways, if you get my drift, then it's still a release. Don't block it. Don't stop it. Don't tell yourself not to be silly. Don't tell yourself not to cry. Allow those things to happen, because that's how we nurture ourselves and how we water our souls and how we grow from the experience as well. And also stops the trapped emotions, and it stops those emotional blockages that, in relationships is a good example. If you date a couple of people that are little buggers and, then dishonest, or they do terrible things or behave in ways that, is not exactly honourable, you tend to take those experiences yourself, and you try not to make the same mistake by choosing those style of people. Or you go, oh, I've seen this before, it's a bit of a red flag. So you're using your experiences of the past to be able to impact your current decisions. But, and some people go from relationship to relationship, or they just don't go back to a relationship for a very long time because the hurt is just too much for them to process. So they stash it, they stick it in the hurt box and try not to visit it too often because it's just too difficult. So now's the time while all these things are going on to have a look and to scrutinise those times in your life and say, is this a hurt that I need to keep hanging on to? Can I get rid of the hurt and let go of all of that, but still take that lesson with me to, help me identify red flags in the future? So hibernation sabbaticals all around in this household, and I'm encouraging as many people as possible to really just take this time to learn about themselves, understand their boundaries, understand their moral compass, their ethics. If you've always wanted to look at a different religion, do it now. If you've always wanted to have a look at learning how to paint, do it now. There's lots of things that you can do. The internet we still have. Use it as often as you can, not to look up fear-based things, but to look up how to cross-stitch or how to edit videos. And, there's so many free programs out there at the moment that, you can pop on your computer and put all your family pictures together and turn it into a video and put some backing music, your favorite song or something on it. So, learn how to do those sorts of things and take this time to get the hang of ourselves and to regroup and take our breath in and start to relax a little bit more into what's happening around us. I'm doing a lot of astrology charts at the moment, so I'm doing a lot of natal charts, which is where all your planets were right at the time that you were born. That is helping people understand their 7 sub-personalities, which is your 7 planets, and that make up your natal chart, the main planets. And that has been giving people a lot of comfort as well, because they're actually able to go, right, okay, I'm going to take this time to learn about this, or learn about my North Node, which is my soul contract, what I'm here for this lifetime. Numerology has been really popular at the moment too, and I think what it is because there's a spiritual side to it, but there's also a mathematical side. So people are still trying to apply logic so they can get their head around it, so it's something tangible for them to take control of while they're doing the spiritual stuff, while they're transitioning and they're purging and they're releasing things that no longer need to be in their lives. So it's very cool. Channeled readings are something that's happening more and more for me at the moment. I take bookings in overnight, so every morning I'm greeted with bookings. So it's really very interesting. All of the A1R Psychic Radio listeners actually have a discount. So instead of $80 for their half-hour read, they get $50 for their half-hour read. So if you're interested in doing that, we're actually able to do that through video conferencing. We don't have to be in the same country. We don't even have to be in the same room. Frequency is frequency. I can shift into that anywhere we go. So if you're interested in doing that, go over to my Facebook page, Insight by Janita Francis, and send me a message through there, and we can organise that for you. When I pop the link up to this video a little bit later for tomorrow, I will also put the link for the PayPal account in there if you're interested in having that reading. So, yeah, Twitter and Instagram are other places that you can catch me. I have a YouTube channel. As I mentioned earlier, the higher realm downloads are happening. If you're not familiar with what a higher realm is, this is sort of like if you explain it in such a way that you have spirit, which is people that have been here before that have passed away. Then you have entity, which are people that have never been to Earth before and never had a human incarnation, but they are still there. They're still in spirit and soul form. And then you have the higher realm. So I tap into the higher realm as well as the spirit and the entities. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So check me out on YouTube if you've got some time to do that whilst you're perusing how you're going to enhance and just get the hang of yourself and enjoy learning more about yourself without all those distractions and those labels. So rightio, I think we're almost at the end of the program for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in and saying hello, listening to me as always. You can catch me, as I mentioned, on Facebook, Insights by Janita. That's JOHNITA Francis, FRANCIS. You can also catch me on my website, insightsbyjanita.com, and then Instagram and Twitter, and of course YouTube. I keep my name as Insights by Janita everywhere I go. Except Instagram made me get @iJanita. So I sound like a bit of a robot. iJanita, very cool, isn't it? So thanks for that, Instagram. That was really much appreciated. I had a bit of a chuckle when I saw that, and I'm not very savvy, so I didn't realise how to change it. I'm stuck with it now. But that's where you'll find me on Instagram. Yeah, I think that's about it. Next week we'll be doing collective readings because the energy will be completely different next week. You can mark my words, everybody who is listening. Get out in the gardens, take your shoes off, enjoy what's going on around you, reconnect with your partners, reconnect with your kids, learn about yourselves. You should be your most favourite loved subject in the entire universe. So learn about yourselves today. I'd love to hear what you're doing if you're taking up a hobby. And yeah, I'd love to hear it. All right, guys, thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio. Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for intuitive listening with Trish Rock. Live from TrishRock.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is intuitive listening
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, good morning, everyone. This is Trish, and this is the Intuitive Listening Show. I hope you're well from wherever you are watching in the world. And you're possibly in lockdown, well, no matter where you are at the moment as well. So I hope this gives you something interesting to watch and listen to for the next half an hour. So I have pulled some cards and for a little bit of a collective reading for us for this week coming. And they're really beautiful cards. And I know for many of you out there, it's a really tough time at the moment, or it feels tough. But you have to have faith, and you have to have hope that, that we will all get through this. And I really feel that this is the task at hand here, really, for us to stay centered and stay calm. And I will be talking a little bit about that today as well. But the cards that came up are just beautiful, and they really are not I guess if you're feeling frantic at the moment, the messages will seem a little bit too far away from you to grasp. But if you're ready to perhaps step out of a little bit of fear and perhaps step out of a little bit of the frantic energy that the world seems to be collectively feeling at the moment, then you'll truly be able to hear what I'm about to say. And it may just bring you some hope and some foresight into the choices that you do have right now, even though many of you may feel like you have none. So the first card that came out is wisdom. And, what a beautiful way to start the week, wisdom. And this really is a message to say that you do have the wisdom within. Now, one of the things that, and this is a number 9, which is the end of a cycle. One of the things that I'll be talking about today is the wisdom that you have within, because you truly do. And what happens is, and especially at the moment, if you've relied on the external in your life, the structures, the external job situations, the external people, the external rules, control, if you've relied on all of that to decide how you feel, you're really disempowering yourself, and you're not tuning into your own wisdom. You're kind of following and tuning into other people's wisdom and not tuning into your own. Now that a lot of those structures have gone, and for many of you, if you're at home and you're not at work anymore, or you're not having to be under anybody else's rules, and you also don't have people around you to validate you anymore, where does your wisdom come from? And I think this is one of the fearful things that people are going through right now. So this is really a call to tune into your own wisdom. And this is what this show is all about, is your intuitive listening, right? Really going within into your own wisdom, into your own memories, into your own claircognizance, and into your own wisdom, your own pool of wisdom, to find the answers, and not to rely on the external forces to bring those answers to you or for you. And, at this particular time in our evolution, there is a lot of wisdom out there, and there's certainly a lot of good information out there. But it's up to you to decide what you believe and what you don't. And that decision and that inner wisdom will be coming forward in those instances, and you'll be going, oh, okay, there's a lot of people who believe that, but it just doesn't resonate with me. But this information over here that I'm seeing or hearing, that really resonates with me. I feel more truth in that. And these are the discernments that are really important for you right now, to be in your own wisdom and not be carried away on a wave of fear from information or theories that you are hearing from many other people, right? Now, I'm not saying the theories aren't true or not true. What I'm saying is tune into your own wisdom here and decide what's true for you. Now, the other two cards that came up are beautiful. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and we've got the World card. This is truly the next step for all of us, right? The Wheel of Fortune is turning, and we can choose to be on it, or we can choose to not tune into our inner wisdom, and we can stop that wheel from turning, right? Fear will stop everything from turning. We just get frozen in fear, yeah? And it blocks everything. And then if you're in fear and it's blocking everything, then that just creates another cycle of fear. And, yes, things are a bit scary, and things are scarier for other people depending on their circumstances. However, to be in that circle of fear is not going to allow you to get on that Wheel of Fortune so that you can start attracting those things into your life that you want again. And then we've got the World card, and this really for me today is representing the whole world. The whole world is stepping into a new cycle and stepping into a new level of wisdom within itself and within each of us. And it's this wisdom that's going to carry us through. Now, I do have one other card, but I just want to talk to you today about the day and the month. So we are now in April, which is the 4th month of the year, and we are in a 4-year. So, sorry, I've got people sending me messages. So we are in a 4-year and we're in a 4-month. And 4 is about restructure. 4 is about foundations. 4 is about boundaries. And 4 is really about resetting and, really getting your foundations and your stability. And I really feel that we've kind of been forced into a little bit of hibernation of sorts, right? And rather than sitting there and worrying and wondering and being in a frantic state of fear, it's a perfect time to really be with yourself, to really start writing down how you feel. Start writing down all your fears. Start writing down all of your hopes and wishes, and really get these foundations together of what you want in life. What is it that you want to feel? how do you want your life to look? And for many of you who are a bit lost and confused at the moment because, you're so used to the outside world validating you and, you finding your value from what other people are saying to you or, for instance, many people at the moment who are at home on their own without external stimulus are really not feeling good because they haven't got people around to I say make them happy, but they have always looked to other people to find happiness, to find their validation, their value, and their worth. And without that, there's the feeling of being lost. So if that's you, dive deep into who you are and try to find your value without the validation of other people around you. And this is really the opportunity that we've got right now to dive deep into who we are, into what we feel, what we think, and our inner wisdom. Dive deep into that and find our value there, because that's where it is. And we don't need other people around us to feel valuable or to feel valued or to feel lovable or to feel loved. And when you can feel that within yourself, then you lose the need for external validation. And when that happens, happiness and peace are with you no matter what is happening on the outside. And we've really been given the opportunity, especially this month, to feel this and to tune into this and to set some new foundations up for ourselves and to find our value, to find our worth within ourselves and really not need the validation of other people. We're really being called on to believe in ourselves again, right? And this is the perfect space to do that, to really start believing in you again. Because you're valuable, you're very worthy, and just the fact that you were born makes you innately abundant and worthy and magnificent. So it's a beautiful opportunity this month to start restructuring your life. How do you want to show up? How, what is it that you're being called to do? Now, for a lot of people, as we are now being all pushed up to the fifth dimension, it's uncomfortable for a lot of people who have been in the third dimension all this time. But for many people who are working in the spiritual field or have been starting to tune into their intuitive abilities, it's really ramping up. And many of you have got abilities now that are really they're calling you, right? All your clairs, your claircognizance, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, clairaudience, they're all heightening. So what do you do with that? Take this time to tune into it. Write down what you're experiencing. Find somebody to, talk to about it. Join communities where there is that conversation. Come over to my page at Trish Rock Transformation on Facebook. Come and join my page, because we have these conversations and you're around people who are also experiencing these shifts, and it just allows you to start believing in yourself a little bit more and your abilities. And there's so many of us being called to step up and to really be there for the world and for those around us. to help them have more faith in themselves as well. So listen to those callings in the next 3 or 4 weeks over this month. Listen to what you're being called to do and trust that. Just take each action step at a time. Don't set yourself up each day with, right, this is my whole day planned and I'm not going to stray from this. Have some plans and some goals, but tune into your intuition and really follow that. If you get a prompt to listen to something, do it. If you get a prompt to go somewhere, do it. If you get a prompt to all of a sudden go to your bookshelf and grab a book, do it. If you get a prompt to get on social media and you see something that catches your attention, listen to that, right? Just really tune into the flow of what you're being prompted to do, and you'll be amazed what exciting magic happens when you tune into that. Now, the other card that I pulled was a numerology card, and we got 87, synchronicity. The first thing, I'm going to read this out to you because it's a really interesting card, but the first thing is the purple and the pink. Now, purple is your third eye intuition, and the pink is really your higher heart chakra. It's really tuning in to the truth of you. Yeah. And into that intuitive truth that is coming through for you really strongly right now, if you allow it. And in the space and in the quietness, for many of you that are at home now, you can really tune into this a lot more. And the pink for your higher heart is really trusting you, trusting and loving you. So I want to read this one out for you. Now, 8 and 7 reduces to 15, which reduces to 6. 6 is a temporary opportunity. 6 is also very spiritual. So it's really tuning in, once again, to that higher heart, to the intuition, and tuning into that spiritual side of yourself. Synchronicity. This card indicates a need to have faith in the universal order of events, even in the midst of hopelessness and uncertainty. There is no such thing as an accident or a coincidence in the universe, and the perfect people and opportunities will appear miraculously when least expected. Even when you can't logically comprehend how your dreams could possibly come true, you must trust in the magical power of synchronicity to deliver what you need. Remember, it isn't your job to know how things will unfold. It is simply your job to believe and know that all is well. The hows, whens, and whos lie in the hands of the divine, but once you surrender to the outcome, you are shown the next logical step. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are encouraging you to trust in the power of synchronicity. By living in consistent alignment with Source through positive thoughts, emotions, and prayer, you will automatically attract miraculous synchronicities into your life. And that is exactly what these cards are saying as well, with the Wheel of Fortune and the World card. So all synchronized there as well. And the affirmation that you can tune into this week is, I have faith that synchronicity will lead me where I need to be. And this comes back down to you really trusting and tuning in, getting silent, getting quiet, and tuning into that other part of yourself that has been blocked out from busyness, from the external. If you don't meditate, I would really recommend that you start meditating this month. Even 15 minutes a day can truly help. I've got lots of amazing meditations on my website at trishrock.com, and also on my YouTube channel at Trish Rock. So, and there's so many different meditations. And once again, use your instincts, use your intuitive instincts to look up Spotify, look up YouTube, look up or Google, right, meditation, and see what comes up for you, and click on the one that feels right for you at this time, because it will be the right one. Don't overthink it. Go with the feeling. And, you know, this will really help you this month to create some new foundations. And if you can create a new foundation of these different habits, right, of meditating is a great habit to be into. Some of my friends who are at home in isolation or lockdown are meditating a few times a day. And, you know, it's not because they're bored or they haven't got anything else to do. It's because it's a really beautiful opportunity to go within and to set up some new internal structures and new belief structures. And it's a great way to tune into what your body, what your mind, and what your soul is asking and calling for you to do at this time. The other thing about meditation, the other thing about tuning in to your intuition is that it's very peaceful. It's very calming. And, you know, often, and this is probably true for many of you listening, if you're not working at the moment, if wherever you were working is closed down and you're at home, if you're used to that busyness, that hustle and the bustle, sitting at home and in the quietness is going to be really different for you, right? So many of us need that distraction. So what will you do without the distraction? Will you create more distraction? Or will you choose to go within, start finding that belief in yourself again, and come out of this stronger, more in tune with your intuitive abilities, more in tune with you, more in tune with life, and, you know, really come out of this empowered. It's a new energy that we're all being called to. We're all being pushed now up to a fifth dimension vibration or higher. And any of those low vibrations, back still in that 3D energy of control and noise, and, you know, putting out our lives in the hands of the external, it just doesn't work anymore. And if you stay there, it's not going to feel good. And we can't be relying on the external to make us feel good. So if you're sitting there waiting for the government, your workplace, the people around you, the world leaders, if you're waiting on another external person or body to do something to make you feel good, then you're really giving your power away. And it's time to take your power back. What makes you feel good? Right? What can you do right now that makes you feel good? And if you were moving forward here in your life, what feels good moving forward? Right? How would you like your life to look and feel? It's time to start dreaming. It's time to write it down. Get clear. Tune in to your inner wisdom. Get clear on what it is that you really want in life. Get that belief back in yourself. Write it all down, and then allow synchronicity to come into play and just trust all those prompts that you get. To be a nice grounding month, should you allow it. Now, I'm still offering my email readings for you. They're super easy. Just get over onto my page at Trish Rock Transformation on Facebook, or you can email me at Trish, Trish, at trishrock.com. Or you can head over to social media and message me. Or you can head to my website at trishrock.com, click on the home tab, and you'll see the drop-down list. So email readings are a really great way if you want answers at the moment. I do a 20-minute video and I send it to you with your answers to your questions. Really inexpensive. If you'd like a bigger session with me, if you really want to dive deep into, where you're headed, then book in for one of my psychic sessions. And I've also got a new 6-week mentoring program called Prosperity and Purpose. And so if you listening today are really starting to tune in to your purpose, into your intuitive gifts, and you know that there's more for you and you're having this really big calling, this is the program for you, and I would love to invite you into that. So the best place, head over to my page on Facebook, Trish Rock Transformation, and like the page and you'll see all the information there. I wish you an amazing April. Stay grounded, stay calm, do what you can to go within and find your own wisdom. Look after yourself, nurture yourself. You are worth it. I'll see you next week.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyonsBrilliance.Wixsite.com/Perry Lyons.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is New York City Celebrity Psychic
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, folks. I'm Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic, and it's great to see you. I just love having you here every week. It's a joy. So, obviously, these are strange times indeed. It's interesting because every single professional psychic or intuitive or medium I know, nobody picked up on this. Not one. And I went into meditation and asked, why is that? And I got a really interesting answer. Well, I thought it was interesting. And the answer was because if y'all had been prepared for this, y'all would have, why am I saying y'all? I'm from Brooklyn. You guys would have sort of separated beforehand in the preparations. You would have separated into class divides and groups and cliques. And this way, we're all getting a taste of what it feels like to be equal in a lot of ways. The other thing is that I've been spending a lot of time in what are called the Akashic records. They're, and they're vinyl. No. And the Akashic records are sort of the record of our lives, and everything has an Akashic record. I do Akashic record readings for houses, which can be kind of a funny story. But what I keep getting, because I'm a person, I get panicky too, and I've been in quarantine with my boyfriend, and this morning I was ready to kill and eat him. It's better now, but this is a weird time. So I went up, I was a little panicky, and I said, is everybody going to be okay? And I'm in no way downplaying the seriousness of this. In no way. Stay inside. Wash your hands. If you must be around people, keep a 6-foot distance between you. All of that is really important. I'm the daughter of a public health official. So it's important that you practice all of those. But when I went up, I kept getting from the Akashic records that it's going to be okay and things are going to be better after this. You obviously have not invested in the stock market. And they're like, yeah, actually we have. But I just keep getting these reassuring messages and I'm not paying them. And I go to what I call my guides, and my guides are like, people are really going to be fine. This is a time when that's been given to us to find out what our values are, who and what we love, what is really important to us rather than what our fantasies are about what we should be doing. So I naturally accuse my guides of day drinking. But I know this is a hard time for everybody. Oh, we have Christine in Ontario. I love people from Ontario. Give me one more minute, Christine. Just hang out because I really want to talk to you. I've got something to tell you. Anyway, so what I want you to know is that, I'm a New Yorker. We're not optimists. But still, whenever I go to my guides or I go into the place where I get information from, which is Trader Joe's, I keep getting the same things. And what I get told to do and what I'm going to pass on to you guys is that this is a time to, maybe get a meditation app, learn meditation, spend time with your kids, whether you want to or not. a lot of people are in the homeschooling thing are learning that they're terrific teachers. Have some patience. It's going to be okay. By November, we're all going to be fine again. We're going to have slowed down a bit. And we're also going to have the opportunity for people to be recognized for who they are and what they are and what they give to the world just naturally in their existence, rather than how famous they are, how well dressed they are. Because honestly, I've been wearing the same thing for 2 weeks. No, I haven't, but it feels like it. It's going to be a better time. And I'm not saying that in a Pollyanna way. I'm saying that in a I was really surprised to keep getting told that. And before we get to my lovely Ontario buddy, I just want to say this show is dedicated to all the medical workers everywhere who are heroes. I'm going to read some names because these are the names. I go to this clinic called Evolve, which is in Annapolis, and it's the people there are the most committed, dedicated professionals. And to me, as I read each name, I want you to think of 100,000 people lined up behind each person, 100,000 health professionals. And I'd like you to just take a moment as I'm reading these names and send positivity and gratitude and loving energy to both the lovely people whose names I'm about to read and also the 100,000 people they each represent, if not more. So I'd like to say thank you, and just, you guys are great. To Sherry Perky, Stephanie Cusco, Joanne Wang, Leah, I hope I'm saying Canale, Lily Goldstein, Juliana, Will, Lori Bond, and Anna, and Dr. Friedman. That's not actually his first name, but and behind each of those people are these dedicated, kind, really gifted professionals, are just a legion of people. People are coming out of retirement in New York City and everywhere else, doctors, to work as volunteers. It's amazing. So people are good, and we're going to get through this, and we're already there. Keep your focus on what you love, who you love, and on the fact that how appreciative we're all going to be of the regular everyday activities we always took for granted. Okay, thank you guys. And thanks to all my medical peeps at Evolve. I love you guys. Okay, Miss Ontario, how are you? Thanks for waiting. You're so patient.
Hi.
Hi, babe. How are you?
Just fine, thank you. How are you?
Thank heavens, I'm fabulous, and the better for talking to you. So, first I'm going to ask you to say your birthday. Thank you. First, I'm going to ask you to say your birthday, because that's sort of how I connect to people. You don't have to say the year. Don't ask, don't tell. So when's your birthday, my love?
June the 28th.
Oh, cool. You're Cancer. Cool.
Yeah, that's right.
So it feels like you have a really specific question. What is it?
Well, I'd like to know if my cancer is going to come back.
No. Oh, sorry. I didn't even know I was going to say that. I mean, obviously, usually it's the stuff that I just blurt out that's, was it in the lower part of your body? Or the upper? Was it something to do with ladiness?
No, actually, I had a third of my lung out.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting breast. It's right behind the left lung?
Right lung, upper lobe, 8 nodes that were fine, and I have COPD and asthma.
Oh, honey. Well, I'm glad you're staying inside and taking care of yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no choice.
Yeah, right. I should explain that usually I say this to clients in sessions. Usually the first minute, it takes me a minute to tune in on your energy. So I apologize about not being right about the lung thing, but I was getting it as breast. So also seeing it on this side. So for me, my left is your right. I really, honestly, I think you're taking really good care of yourself. I think also that you have a community of people who really love you. And I was just reading some research that says, for those of us who are survivors of something serious, that keeping in touch with our community, or even just taking a moment every day to think about how many people love us and how many people we love, and that's something that you naturally do. I mean, you may have been hermiting a little lately, because who isn't? But no, I don't feel, obviously keep going to your doctor and but I really feel that you're past that. And I feel that the next part of your life is, in a strange way, going to be really good. So I almost want to say that the best part of your life is ahead of you. I mean, I know you've had a lot of great times and your kids and all that stuff, but I think that this near-death experience handed your real self back to you in some ways, and gave you a kind of, in some ways, an I don't care what other people think attitude. In the past, I feel like maybe you were a bit of a people pleaser, or you wanted, who isn't, but I feel like this experience has focused you. And now that you're focused, you don't need to do it again. But I really don't feel it's going to be back. And I have to tell you, I tend to be right about this stuff. Obviously, please continue with everything you're doing to keep it in abeyance. But have you discovered any talents or any things you love or any aspects of yourself since all of this happened that have surprised you or that you really enjoy? Yeah.
Yes, just before I was ordained, and with the marriage privilege. And yes, it has changed my life. And I even started giving some services at the United Church, and brought them in the stone person for energy.
Oh, yeah, you're very spiritually connected. And that's, I think, the thing that's going to, there is a lot of grace around you. And I just don't mean if you have like a dog named Grace. You're walking in grace. And you live in gratitude. You really, of course you have funky moments, because who doesn't? But you live in gratitude. And those things, you have such a strong connection to your higher power, God, and all of that. So also, I was just reading this beautiful psalm in Isaiah that talks about how your word goes forth. It's so beautiful. If you contact me on Facebook, I'm Peri, P-E-R-I, Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S. I'll send you that. And I'll also give you like a free 5-minute, 10-minute follow-up, because you have a lot to give the world, girl. I'm sorry, this girl.
Thank you.
The other thing is, you really have a gift for have you delivered a lot of sermons? You have a gift for connecting with people, and you have a gift for communication. You're a hell of a writer.
I have been told that I've helped some people out with sermons, and even had a conversation with a Chinese gentleman in a bank, and said that I had answered questions for him that he had had most of his life. But I'm really into helping to heal other people, and I have a couple of people who are struggling with cancer right now.
Healing is much easier than people, at least it is for me, and it will be for you, than people think. It's, I work with, I give treatments for free to sick people. I can't right now, but just, if you just sort of hover your hands over them, you'll be guided to, and you don't even have to touch them, because that could lead to lawsuits, But hover your hands over them and then just feel the presence of God or higher power or unconditional love, whatever you want to call it. And just be part of that and have them be part of it. If that makes sense, it's kind of that easy. And you have a real gift here. So please keep in touch with me because you've got the best part of your life. You have the sermons that you deliver and just the everyday ministry of you being you. In the bank, in the grocery store, but stay home and have groceries delivered, please. Also, I would recommend doing some yogic breathing. I think that will be really helpful for you. So look up a thing called lung deep breathing in Kundalini Yoga, Kundalini. I think that will be miraculous for you. But you have I can't believe I'm saying this in this plague year, but you have a really good year coming up. And I would think about starting an online ministry if you can. And just talk to people. People need to hear your voice and they need to hear your words. And no, I absolutely don't think it's coming back. I think that you're here for a reason. I mean, obviously, people for whom it does come back are also here for a reason. But I think that you have a real glow, my dear. I hope that helps. Will you get in touch?
Bless you.
God bless you.
Most definitely I will, Connie. Thank you very, very much.
All right, my love.
You've been very helpful.
Brooklyn girl. Oh, thank you. Hey, well, I love your energy. It's a very grace. You're filled with grace. So, all right, my love. Thank you. And I'll talk to you soon. That's a promise. Okay? All right. Now we have a Brooklyn girl. Hi, baby. Where in Brooklyn are you from?
Yes, hello? I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Hi, sweetie. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. Which part are you from?
Well, I don't really like to say, but it's, around the Ocean Parkway area. And I don't really like to say online because I never know.
No, of course not. I just meant what neighborhood. I'm in, sort of Brooklyn Heights, downtown. But I love Brooklyn. Fourth generation Brooklyn. So, tell me your birthday, so that's how I connect with people. And then it feels like... What is your birthday?
It's March the 6th. It's March the 3rd, 1954.
March the 6th? You're Pisces too? Yay!
Yeah, March the 3rd, 1954, yeah.
Awesome. All right, my darling. It feels like there's a question or two that you have in mind. If you don't, I'll do a deep dive. But what would you like to know, my angel?
Well, I like to be connected with my mother, Dorothy. She passed away suddenly, and I don't want to talk too much. I want to see if you can help me. Everything happened so quickly, and I can't tell you everything. I just want to know if she has a message for me, if she knows my struggling and all that I'm going through, if she's helping me, or what she's doing for me, like what she thinks. The way she left was unbelievable.
It was like 1 minute totally here, and then the next minute, oh my God. Did she have an old, I'm not saying her name is Thelma, but did she have like a really pretty old-fashioned name? I don't want to say Thelma because that's not it.
Dorothy.
There you go.
Dorothy.
Yeah. It's from the same era. And she was, oh my God, I love her energy. She's so fun. Did she have dark hair?
No,
maybe
she has blonde hair.
She had blonde hair? Oh, was she originally dark? Okay, that's all right. Maybe I'm getting somebody she's hanging out with. Sorry, mediumship on demand is a little hard, but I'm going to do it. Okay, Dorothy, hang out. I feel like she was a little on the petite side and a little curvy. Is that correct?
Petite, you said?
Well, like 5'4".
Yeah. No, she's only 4'11". You're a psychic, so don't you know? You know what I mean?
Well, if I said petite, did you say 4'11" or 5'11"?
No, 4'11".
What did you say?
You're asking me a lot
I
of
said
questions.
petite. Petite,
I would
petite
like
means
you
small.
to tell me, not ask me. Could you please tell me, not ask me?
Yes, dear. I said she was petite, and you confirmed that by saying she was 4'11". So when I said she was petite and curvy, she was a little curvy. I'm sorry I got the hair color wrong, but I do think at one time she had dark hair. And she was curvy, and she is also interesting. She was a very sharp truth teller. She could be very quiet and tactful, but she would really tell you the truth, no holds barred, occasionally.
I want to know a message. Why did you die? How did you die? I want to know the messages.
Well, first I have to describe her to make sure I'm getting the right person. So I said petite. You didn't say if she was curvy or not, but that's what I get. I get that she was also a hell of a cook and took care of everybody. You have a grandson you're worried about, it feels like, or grandchild. And it feels like... It feels like you have a grandchild you're worried about. Or she is a grandchild.
No,
she has a grandchild.
I'm not even married. No, there's no grandchildren.
She has a grandchild, not you. Sorry. She has a grandchild. I misheard her. She's talking long distance here. I'm psychic. I'm not God.
No, wait a minute. She doesn't have any grandchildren, my mother.
You don't have a brother who's...
No, my brother's dead, and he never had children.
All right.
Absolutely not.
Okay, then there's somebody... I apologize. Mediumship, I'm usually right, but hey, sometimes I'm not. But hold on, let me get her. What is this? Okay, not grandchild. Hold on. One thing there were two, I'm sorry, there were two things she used to nag you about. I think she used to nag you about your appearance a bit. I don't mean nag in a bad way. I mean, she would offer constructive... She wanted you to look a certain way. So that was something she would tell you a lot. But what she really wants you to do right now is she wants you to get married. And she wants you to, or be with somebody. She also wants you to talk to her because I think there's a part of you that thinks that personality doesn't survive, but because you're very rational, and you do something very rational for a living, but she wants you to get out of your head a little. And she would like if you just checked in with her every day. Talk to her as if she's there, because she is. She was as surprised as anybody why she died. It was her time. In a lot of ways, she would say that she had... She said, hold on. She's saying, think about you, don't think about me, but you can talk to me. She's also saying that she had a very good life. She had a marriage to a man she loved. She had a comfortable existence. She loved her kids. I can't tell if there are two or three of you, but she also wants you... Here's the thing. When somebody's passed over, we can absolutely talk to them. They can hear us. But we can also ask them to help us with certain things. Now, because there is a kind of a free will thing, they can't always help us unless we actually ask. They can help us in life and death situations without us asking, but they can help us in just regular stuff, but we have to ask for their help. I know after my beloved father died, I asked him for help with publicity, and the next day the New Yorker magazine called me for an interview. That was his favorite magazine, and it was out of the blue. I think that your mother would like you to ask her for two things. She'd like you to ask her to help you find a life partner, which is what she wants for you. And this is really strange, but she also, if you shop for clothes, she'd like you to ask her opinion. I can't believe I'm saying that. But she was, a good appearance was very important to her. She dressed very well. She was very stylish. And that was something that she wanted to share with you. The other message she has for you is that in the work you do, you can get some sort of promotion in the next year. I think you might have to get a certification or take some sort of course. But mostly what she wants is to have you know that she just loved you beyond anything. And she wasn't the sort of person who would say, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." I mean, she did, but she showed it in her actions, what she did for you, and how patient and loving she was with you and your brother. I'm not sure if you have another sister or not. That's a little strange. All right, let that go. But she, what she mostly wants is for you to be happy, and for you to. You're very smart. You're very rational. I've got 10 seconds. I'm going to say this fast. She'd like you to get out of your head a bit and have some more fun, and maybe attend services occasionally. So that's all I got, my love. And I'll see you all next week, 9 p.m., Moonstruck. And bless you, my dear. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. This is Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic, thanking you all for being here. It's a joy to be with you. Thanks to both my callers. And wash your hands, everybody, and stay indoors. It'll be okay. All right. Love you. See you next week.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Angel Guidance by Lisa Shore. Live from PureLoveEnergy.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Angel Guidance
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa. This is my show, Angel Guidance by Lisa. And I'm so grateful that you're here today. And I just wanted to share a little bit about myself and then just chat with you a minute. And we're going to do something together, and then I'll take a caller. So my role in the world right now, and has been for a while, is that of a healer. And when I say healer, I don't mean doctor or psychiatrist or even a counselor. What I mean is I'm an energetic healer. And why is that important? Well, we are all made of energy. We look solid, we vibrate really fast, but we're really energy. And science shows that. I'm, not just saying that. That's a proven fact. We are energy. So this energy can be shaped really easily by your surroundings, like by your what you watch on TV. And right now, there's a lot of fear. on television. So when you turn on the TV or the radio, or you're listening something on YouTube or on the internet, they're going to be talking about what's going on in the world. And right now, what's going on in the world is a total transformation of humanity, really. Things will not go back to the way they were before. And that doesn't mean that's bad. Actually, it could be very good. And so a lot of how you view the world is through the lens of your attitude, your mindset, and your energy. So it's important that you keep your energy protected and cleansed and grounded. And what that does is it helps you function with some kind of peace of mind. It helps you move through life without reacting to everything, but actually being able to take some kind of responsibility and have some control over what's going on in your world. So with energy, and with us being energy, and the world is energy, and everything's buzzing and vibrating, it's really easy to slide into that negativity that you notice that people are talking about. Maybe people are complaining about losing their job, or maybe they're talking about this person and that person who's sick, and maybe they don't know them personally, but they know someone sick and they keep talking about it. I will tell you what I'm doing right now. So I'm aware of what's going on in the world, and I actually allocate a little bit of time every day to tune into that and to understand what's happening, because I feel like that's a responsible thing to do. But I don't immerse myself in this information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay. I find out some information. I find out information because I'm a responsible person for members of my family. I like to know what's happening, but I'm looking at all this as an observer, and I'm not looking at it as someone who's emotionally invested in what's happening around me. Now, what does that mean? Well, I don't get caught up in the fear of what's going on in the world right now, because there's no reason to. Okay, there's no reason to buy into the fear. There's no reason to step into that feeling of what someone else may be noticing and reacting to. So when people start talking about people who are sick, or there's a whole group of people talking about people who are coming down with symptoms and they must have this, and I want you to remove yourself from that situation. I want you to observe it and go, okay, thank you. That's interesting. You think that and feel that. Now I'm going to step over here back in my space, and I'm going to align myself with my truth. So what's your truth? Well, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about that? A truth would be like, for me, I believe everything works for my good and in my favor. That truth stands by me 100% of the time. So even though this is going on in the world, I don't abandon that truth, that belief. I believe I'm always protected and guided. That truth remains the same, 100%, now and forever. And when you are deeply rooted in your beliefs, life and energy will respond to that. Okay, so if you're putting out an energy of faith and trust and hope and love, that's how you'll see your world around you. Okay, energetically, you're going to pull that in. Now, there are circumstances where people need a little help to get into that state of being, and I am a person who helps people do that. I help people shift their energy, and I do it through something called Reiki healing. I do it through many things, but Reiki healing is the primary structure of healing that I use. And so I want to invite you, if you feel anxious, stressed out, like you don't have a place to really feel comfortable, check out my group page. It's completely free. It's called Reiki Live, REIKILIVE, exclamation point, Reiki Live. What that means is twice a week and maybe more, I give Reiki, I give you healing energy to shift your frequency. So you start to feel more peaceful, aligned, grounded, and energetically put back together. I talk about this and I accept this because I know what results people get. People feel results from these sessions, even though you're not in my healing room, even though you may be halfway around the world. For me, energy doesn't know any boundaries of time or space. It transcends all of that. So if you accept healing from me, then you will automatically get that when you join me on my Facebook Lives. You'll get exactly what you need. It will help you shift. I invite you to try it. I invite you to see what people are talking about. So what do people talk about? They talk about how they have a sense of peace and clarity and relaxation after a session. They talk about how information that I was able to bring forward, to bring through to the group, information that may connect them with their loved ones in spirit, information that may give them insight as to some of the things going on in their body. I'm able to bring that forward, even in a group session, and people receive healing and clarity and relief from stress during these sessions. So those are some of the things I do to help people. Certainly, I am open for private sessions, and I can conduct those as well on the internet through a website called Zoom. So if you need help, if you want to reach out to me, you can do it through my Facebook group, Reiki Live, and that is completely free. You can also reach out to me at Lisa Short. I'm in Lenexa, Kansas. Okay, if you have anyone in your life who needs healing, needs some energetic assistance, guide them my way. I want to expand my group page to help as many people in the world as I can. I don't need to be one-on-one with people to give distance Reiki, to give Reiki from a remote location. I don't have to be one-on-one, and everyone who needs it will receive it. I'm not giving my energy. I'm giving Reiki energy, which channels through me. It flows through me. This is something that I have been doing for 20 years, and I have helped hundreds of people and had over 1,000 sessions. So I'm very familiar with how this works and how I get to help people and how they feel better. So right now, I want to just send you a little energy shift, a burst of relaxation, peace, and love. And so we're going to just take about 5 minutes, and then I'll go on to a caller, and I'm going to help you shift. This is what I want you to do. So I want you to sit in a quiet space if you can. If you're watching this on the replay, sit in a quiet space. Sit and recline or relax, lay down, whatever is fine. I just want you to be in a quiet space. And I want you to close your eyes and start to breathe. And breathe in slowly and deeply. Breathe in and release. And as you breathe in, I want you to intend that you are receiving healing light and be thankful for that. So just be grateful that you are receiving healing light. And as you breathe in, you may notice that you are experiencing a vibration or a tingling around your entire body. I'm feeling it right now a lot in my legs and my feet, so you may notice that there. This is for anyone who's on the replay. If you can take this information, go ahead and comment below the video, and I'll check it back later. Keep breathing. I want you to feel energy entering through the top of your head and flowing downward into your throat, your heart, your abdomen, the base of your spine, down your legs, and into your feet. This energy is a beautiful golden light. And as it flows throughout your body and saturates all places and pieces and parts of you, your energy is being attuned to the highest spiritual frequency. This golden light represents all that's good and 100% love. Feel this light expand and flow throughout you, and this is a shift for you. This is a alignment with your highest good, with your higher self. And so as you feel this shift, take a deep breath in and release. You may start to feel getting heavier, like you're relaxing, like you're getting heavy, like your legs are getting heavy. Some of you may notice a vibration in your hands. You may notice heat in the palms of your hands. And that's okay too. I'm noticing a vibration and a movement in the throat chakra. Somebody is releasing an issue right there. It could be some kind of coughing. It could be also a sore throat or something going on there that's being released right now. Keep breathing. And as you continue to breathe, you may feel now a lightness, as if there's a web of support forming under you and carrying you and lifting you up in the highest possible supportive way. You may notice a warmth. You may notice a tingling. That's all normal for Reiki. Your body, your energy body, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body is shifting. It is beginning to align with the highest vibration, the highest source, the beautiful light of love. Take a deep breath. Release all that is restrictive. Release all that is tying you back into fear. Release it and align with love. And as you breathe in, I now want you to intend and bring the energy that you have expanded so beautifully back to its normal resting place around your body. I want you to relax and start to feel the physical parts of you, your fingers, your toes, wiggle them so you know you're back in your body. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I seal this session. Please let me know how you feel, if you've noticed a shift or any kind of change in how you feel. Do you notice a release of anxiety or stress? Do you feel more calm, more peaceful? Do you have a clear head around certain things? Let me know. If there's anything you want to share, I would sure appreciate it. Take another deep breath. Get a drink of water. And have a beautiful day. Namaste. So I'm going to go to a caller now and need to check this. I think this is Catherine. Catherine in Mineral Wells, Texas. Hey, Catherine.
Hello.
Are you? Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. How's it going where you are today?
It's going good. Very funny.
Yeah. Everything all healthy there in Texas? Where you
far,
are?
yes, in my town, where I'm
Your
at.
house? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, Catherine, what can I help you with today?
Just any kind of guidance.
Okay. Do you have an area of your life that you want to look at?
Not really. Kind of lost on that one.
So everything's, if there was an area in your life that you would like to make change or shift or work on, what would come to mind? What would be the first thing?
Probably like family and career.
Family and career? Okay. Okay, so I know there's a lot of people who aren't working right now because of everything that's going on. Are you connected to, I feel like you have a job, is that related to food or food service or a restaurant, something like that?
No, I just got a job today at the nursing home.
At nursing, do you do food service there?
Housekeeping.
Okay. Let me take a look and see. Okay. Oh, so I do see a change for you this summer, which is actually not that far away. I see a change in work. All right. Let me take a look. It looks like it'd be good. What I mean is a change. It looks like there will be an increase of income for you. The income will be related to your job. It will be related to your career. It's going to, what I feel like is you need to be pushed a little bit to move forward with this. Is there something you're working on that would get you to the next level of pay? Or is there some certification or, I don't know, something that can give you that next step?
I'm a medical assistant, but I keep having trouble finding a job.
I think that as far as finding a job, those positions are going to open up. I don't feel like you're going after all of this that's going on right now, after, I would say June going into that month, that's where you're going to find a place of employment. It feels like there's going to be some type of connection as well with this place to bettering or improving yourself in the job. Like they would hire you and give you a scholarship or give you the means to go forward with something to train in. Is there something and does that make sense to you, or is that?
They have a CNA program that they pay for.
They have a what they pay for? I'm sorry?
A CNA program.
CNA? Has that been something that you have thought about pursuing?
I did, yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the information that's coming in. So this was a plan, and this is exactly what this information is. This was a plan. This was something that you've thought about. And if you had to do it on your own, you may not do it. But because you would be accepted in a new employment situation where they would offer to provide for that, that is a golden opportunity for you. I feel like you're just going to move into that very easily, and that's going to help you focus on it's not only expanding your income but your skills, and that's going to overflow into your home life, into your relationships. I'm looking at this financially for you. You're going to meet somebody who's going to help with this financially. So that part of it is the place where you're going to get a job and they're going to pay for this training. Another part of it is that there may be someone in your life who would be a romantic person or someone you're connected with who would see an increase in wages or come into your life with bringing forth some type of financial support. It feels like this person will give you good advice as well about pursuing your dreams and taking these next steps. Are you involved with a romantic person right now?
I'm married.
Huh?
I'm married.
You're married? Okay. Does your husband...
I'm married.
Yes. So for your husband, then, it seems like there's going to be an increase, first of all, an increase in wages for him, or a bringing forward of money that you didn't expect, and that will be also in the summertime as well. There's also going to be this really good, I feel like he's going to support you right now emotionally as you go through these changes, where there may have been a little, it feels like there could have been a little disconnect between you and he, like almost taking each other for granted in a way, but now it's like, oh, I get it. We really need to be together. It's like a feeling of gratitude between the both of you. You're going to start seeing it with each other, and that's going to allow for greater flow financially for both of you. I know that maybe doesn't sound like it would fit together, but when your energy and your emotions are flowing, are open, are grateful, you're going to invite financial support. You're going to invite people into your life that help you move forward. So it's really good to continue, if you're not doing it now, to get into that groove of being grateful for your husband. Can you take any of that? Does that make any sense to you?
A little bit. We are at a disconnect right now. We're not really happy right now.
There's going to be a change with that dissatisfaction. It's going to be something that will impact your family. You're going to experience something that it's not a crisis, but it's something that's going to impact your family, and you and your husband are going to come back together in a balanced, supportive way. I feel like he truly loves you. Don't feel like there's any kind of disconnect there. I do feel like he truly loves you. There just has been this friction, and that friction is brought by both of you, not just him. So we're going to go through this experience, and this is going to be in a relatively quick period of time where you're going to come back together and you're going to be grateful for each other's presence. And it's going to impact the rest of everything for you. Money, your relationship, your home life, all of it. I would start, if you can, thinking about 3 things about your husband that makes you grateful for him. Sometimes it's challenging when we're in a situation where we're experiencing a little bit of agitation or unhappiness with someone. There's an original reason why you are together. I want you to think about what 3 reasons would be that you would be grateful for your husband, okay? And that's going to shift your energy, all right? And this can be something that once you start doing it, I wonder if you could ask him to do it too. It will engage a conversation between you two that will break down the walls of whatever has been put up. All right? If he can start to look for 3 things to be grateful for you, about you every single day, and you as well, and these have to be different things. I don't mean the same thing every day. That's going to shift your energy. You're going to be able to step into a better place with him. I think you really want that. It's too much energy to resist, okay, to push back. You don't need a significant life change right now. You're going to go through some changes anyway, and you're going to be fully supported. So focus on yourself and then start to see how really beautiful, loving energy of your husband can be brought back into this relationship. And you can give it too. I really do appreciate your call, Catherine, and I do need to run. But I would like to invite you to reach out to me if you are so inclined. I'm on Facebook at Lisa Short. Thank you. Have a good day.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Persian Medium I Am Power with Fia Johan. Fia Johan. Live from PersianMedium.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Persian Medium I Am Power
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic.
There is somebody's mom here. She directed to you right now.
Fia is actually channeling my mother.
I have her right now with me.
She passed away 3 years ago.
She says, forgive me.
Hearing from my mom was amazing.
What she told you before, 3 days before she passed?
That she loves me and that she'll see me soon.
She's directing me another woman in the room. Please.
My grandmother was my mentor growing up.
There's two women that directed by her right now. You and her. She's talking about the man that she was concerned, and she's still concerned, and she asked for forgiveness for that man as well.
The man that she brought forward to forgive, that's my brother.
She's telling you to stop being weak. Bring more confidence into your life.
You know, we're all at different points in our lives. We've all been through different experiences, traumas, excitements, joy.
She's proud of you. You're quick on something. You stopped something that was very hard for you to do.
You wouldn't think that 10 years ago that I was addicted to drugs.
She says, I'm proud of you. Continue.
I never stopped asking the universe to show me the way.
She's talking about your pain. Let it go.
I don't have to have that story anymore. I don't have to hold on to the story of my pain, of my past, of my trauma. Today, I can let it go.
Let it go! She said, can you forgive me?
Yes.
Say goodbye to all things that could stop you to succeed, to feel good, to connect with your soul. Say yes.
Yes.
Loud.
Yes.
Loud.
Yeah.
She's asking you, can you forgive that person? She's directing someone else. She's directing a man. She's directing someone. Can you forgive that person? Can you forgive that person for her? Loud.
Yes, I forgive him.
Why you do forgive him? She want to know.
I forgive him for myself.
You are worthy enough to do everything for yourself. Not for anybody else, for yourself.
I know that takes a lot from her, but she gives, and she gives, and she gives.
She's asking you to be strong, to be powerful, to be connected to your soul. You don't need anyone's affection and approval to be perfect. You are already perfect. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Just say, yes, I do. She's talking about backyard. She's talking about the trees. She's talking about dishes. She's talking about the chicken. She's talking about the chair. She's talking about everything. Please direct her what she's trying to say.
Nana's house.
Nana's. My mom's house. We all lived together. I mean, they lived there with my mom and my dad. They were always together. We were always together. Always cooking. She actually made a better
My father, Dellums, who passed away a year and a half ago.
You remember why I told you?
Yeah.
Dellum's youngest daughter, Piper, is proud that her father became an early voice against oppression in South Africa, applying pressure that would one day bring an end to apartheid.
You said, take my legacy, take my... You're the smartest person I know. Go into the world and heal the land and do it in your way.
You know, Ron never gave up. He never became bitter. He loved.
In my hand, this is your dad. He wanted you to tell again, louder, louder, and clear what he told you.
You're my mantle. I'm passing you my anointing and passing it to you. You're the smartest one that I know. Run. There's so much work. Run, run, run and heal the world and don't stop. Do it in your way. Baby girl, do it in your way.
So she spoke in sister, but also like an angel.
He said, I saw you when you cried in front of that candle. Why did you cry?
She's given me the faith and trust and support that was being given me by my dad before he left. So she's done this beautiful transition of allowing me not to feel the void of his leaving.
I don't know where to go when I'm not speaking with you, or I just don't know how to feel safe in the world without you in it.
In the area where I don't have a female in my life because I don't have a relationship with my mother and I don't have a sister. She has stepped in with the feminine to remind me that I am also loved and purposeful and beautiful and worthy, that I'm valuable.
It's not just me that tried to basically sending her messages and changing her. So she changed me in so many ways as well.
So our silly song goes this way. We are the key to do more than just let it be. The key to our destiny is in the hands of our humanity. His love is more than a philosophy. 'Cause we are the key.
We are the key.
We are the
but
key.
Diamond's key. And our social interactions. For the opportunity to have access to products and services when we want them. The opportunities to recognize and appreciate every little things in our life that we did not even see it before. Thank you, coronavirus. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you for allowing us to put aside all our problems. Thank you for stopping us. Thank you so much. Thank you for making us appreciate the luxury we lived in. The abundance of products, freedom, health, wealth, love, and anything we wanted. Thank you, and thank you, coronavirus. The earth was begging us and begging us and begging us to stop for a very long time. And thank you that you help the earth to breathe, to feel fresh, and rebuild herself. This virus is with us, is an inside of our brain, our mind, our body, our soul. This virus came to us to show us how little and how tiny we are. This virus shows us the opportunity to see that the king of all beings is vulnerable to a tiny virus. This virus came to our life to show us that we are nothing than just soul. And this virus came to our life to show us to be kind and lovable, to send positive energies and love to others. Thank you, coronavirus.
I thank the Mother Earth for providing us with an opportunity to listen to it again. I thank for the second chance for renewal and refreshment and replenishment. I thank the universe for cleansing and purging all the negativity created for so many years, the pollution, the warming, the abuse of resources, the waste and our ignorance to protect our homes and our community. The nature is acting and reacting to our misguided ways. Isn't it time for us perhaps take a page from the lesson to recognize what's around us? Thank for the blessings that are coming our ways each and every day. I trust the universe to guide me, protect me, and direct me to being better than the day before. I thank all the gifts that I receive each and every day in my life.
Welcome back to the Global Entrepreneurship Initiative. I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Fia Johansson, who's better known as the Persian medium and subconscious mind surgeon. She's a multi-talented motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium, an author who works closely with law enforcement to help locate missing people and solve difficult criminal cases with detectives and as well as private investigators. Throughout her career, she's helped thousands of people identify personal roadblocks to help them truly believe in their own path to success, whatever that dream may be. Her greatest passion in life is helping others achieve their ultimate dreams and desires, teaching people to believe that truly anything is possible. Please help me welcome to the stage, Ms. Fia Johansson.
Well, hello everyone. I love the spirit in this room. Really, I do. You guys having amazing spirits, which actually helping millions of people so far. As Nick said, my name is Fia Johansson. I'm a medium and subconscious mind surgeon. I will share a couple of my stories of my life, which both kind of funny, at the same time a little bit hurtful, but good to know about how the medium could feel sense as a person. I was at the age of 7.5 when I found that I have some sort of power. Of course, first it was kind of odd, a little bit difficult to understand myself, and I kind of like felt something is not correct with me because I could see, feel, and sense things before things happened. I went to my mom and asked, "What's wrong with me?" "Nothing, you're good." "Should I take you to the doctor?" "No, I don't know, but I can feel and sense that something crazy is going to happen to my grandma," example. "Something is going to happen to my uncle," and all this stuff. However, they're trying to tell me to don't say anybody when you feel and sense something bad is going to happen to them, because I don't wanted them to be scared and see that we should not be even near them. I says, okay, at the age of 7.5, I should just like not saying anything and just relax. At the age of 11, I found one of the most hurtful untruths about my life, which was completely true. I found out that my grandma, who actually I knew and I felt as a mom, is just my grandma and not my mom. My grandpa was my grandpa and not my father. My uncles, they never been my brothers and they've been just my uncles. And my mom, not ever been my sister, and she always been my mother. But this truth been always held and hidden by my family until my grandma passed away. Before that, I had a life as a princess, spoiled completely, and they would definitely give me anything and everything what I want. After she passed, I figured I don't have anyone anymore. My mom is too young. I don't have no feelings as a daughter and mother connections. I feel completely lost, and I found myself, what should I do now? I do have some gift that could help me so far, but should I just like push myself down and see that, oh, this is a trauma. I have to just like be depressed. Now I lost this and that, and I found the truth about my life. And I found about my father. Who is my father? Somebody. Where is he? Another country. Okay. I tell myself, get up, stop it right now. It doesn't matter which family you had. It doesn't matter what they told you. It doesn't matter what happened. What it matters right now is to open the new chapter in your life. And I will completely left alone by myself without anybody to taking care of myself. At the age of 14, I asked my uncle, who left Iran to Stockholm, Sweden, if there is possibility to take me there. He said, maybe or maybe not, but I would do my best. 3 months later, I felt and I sensed I will be there. I'm not belonging in this country anymore, and I don't want to. I went to Sweden, Stockholm, and waited that my uncle is going to come and pick me up. Nobody showed up. Gosh, again, I'm here. My uncle is not here, and I don't even know that language. I couldn't speak English. Nothing. Okay. Then, Miss Fia, you are here with nobody again. So what happened? I tell myself, you are deaf and you are blind. Deaf and blind. What a deaf and blind person can do? I can't talk to anybody. I can't see anything, but I have to activate some other power inside of my body again at the age of 14. So I tried to communicate with people, try to talk or communicate with some officers and ask about, like, where am I? I know that I'm in Stockholm, but I don't even know where to go. So basically, I found some hotel and stay there and just like think about like what happened with my uncle. So I found out that he had a car crash almost a couple hours before that he went to come and pick me up. So they take 1 month for me and for him to recover, to come out after coma and come and find me. So in 1 month, I was left over in a country with the minus 30 degrees. I mean it, minus 30 degrees. And I'm not joking. I could feel that I can't breathe sometimes, but I could have a lot of, ice in my nose and my ears and everything. Whatever I felt, you know what? Thea, you do have a power. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, build the new chapter. Again, this is your second chapter in another country. So I prayed, I connect to my divine, I sense, and all of a sudden, 3 families, without even knowing who they are, what they are up to, they reach out to me out of nowhere. How? I went out to the Starbucks, but basically there is no Starbucks. It was something, looked like or similar to Starbucks, and saw some lady that's sitting there and crying. I went and said, well, I can't speak. What should I say? Okay, the only things that I can do is a love language. Maybe I should hug her. Maybe I should just like say, I'm here. And it was a Swedish girl, of course, blondie. And I'm kind of like a black hair. Well, that maybe she's going to get scared a little bit. But I says, like, don't worry about it. Just go and get it done. So I did that. And she hugged me so hard. Was like, what's going on? What's happened to you? She's starting to talk. I couldn't understand. Barely nothing. Swedish language? Come on, guys. You guys don't want to even learn. It's very difficult and very hard. I said, okay, let's just continue and continue. I felt and see that she lost the baby, or actually the baby was missed in the past of almost 4 years. And she basically went to the family and asked questions about like, where can I go? How can I find? Because it was in another state, and they come back to the Stockholm, and then she all of a sudden just break down. I said, I can help you. I feel where the baby is, or somehow I can see the baby. They didn't understand what I'm saying. I was like, oh my gosh, what should I say? It's like translating. I do remember that day. So basically after almost 2 hours, some Persian family, they could actually speak my language, finally Persian, so they could understand exactly what I'm talking, because they've been closest friend to that Swedish family. My career started at the age of 14 in Stockholm. Just 2 months after, I landed in this minus 30 degrees of country. So my point is, whatever I had in my life, I always been thankful and grateful. I never said why I don't. I never said why me. I never said how. I always say, come on, get up, find a way, go. That's it. So never give up. And I always learn myself, don't be logic, be biologic. Because that's the only way you can feel and sense yourself and others. Always send love and receive love. Never give up about your goals. And of course, the first month, because I did not have enough money, I left with almost 120 crackers and waters. And it's possible. As a human, we can live with 120 crackers and water every day, which I did because I did not have money, no place to go, countries with no language. Then after that, I feel like I have to build my company. I built my company almost 3 years later. It was about like $4.5 million company with almost 55 Swedish employees. And what I did that, not just helping police officers and private investigators and all this stuff. I did this because I felt that Swedish people rejected me one after each other. Why? Because I'm come from another country. I said, you know what? I make a decision now. I am going to build my own company, and you are going to pick me to hire you. This is me now, Thea Johansson. So now I'm not going to be a blondie lady but I'm going to be the black hair lady with a lot of power of veal. So my veal power make my company became super successful back in Stockholm. Almost 8 years ago, I felt that I have to move to America. I find my love of my life. And when I come here, I felt, okay, you left your country, the way that you love, basically after so many years, and now you want to just start from scratch. So I knew about 5 languages already, but my English was not good at all. So I couldn't barely speak English. I was like, okay, start it again, Miss Via. Now this time, maybe English is much easier than and faster than Swedish. So that was all I had. And now I have over $5.5 million, almost $6 million company, and actually have over 250 employees worldwide that are working for me in America. So everything is possible, even you don't know about the language. So remember that deaf and blind always will help you and send love and passion to yourself and anything and everything you want. Everything is possible.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
And now, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl with Tanya Reid. Live from AustraliaPsychicCowgirl.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Australia's Psychic Cowgirl on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
G'day, Tanya Reid, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, coming at you from Sunday Creek. I'm hoping that I'm working okay. We've had a pretty hectic, well, for some of us it's been quite a hectic week sorting things out, and for others it's been a bit of a, pull back and reset type of week. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag, I have to say. So I know connecting with a lot of you, let me see, oh, yeah, I'm there. Connecting with a lot of you with inquiries and just feeling a little bit out of kilter. I want to remind you, in amongst all of this, that it is about resetting and about, I suppose, seeing the gold that is beneath all that's happening throughout the world. We can turn on the telly and listen to everything that's going on, and yeah, sure, we do need to keep up to date with it, but for a lot of us, it's also about just awakening up to that deeper sense of self, reconnecting with the old style values that were pretty much, like, it reminds me of our grandparents' era, where we're going back to basics and we're back to things that are, how can you put it, back to the simple things like cooking from scratch and spending time as a family. And I feel like a lot of people also are not being as distracted. So there's something about knuckling down and getting onto things or making things a priority that maybe we put behind us or tended to not bother to connect in with. So my reminder today is about that awakening and knowing that, out of all things that sometimes look a bit darker, through the shadows we rise again. And we're definitely all going to be doing that, but it will be, it will be a big shift and change. For many people that I've connected with lately, we're going to do an about face. So I said on our show this morning, I've had a lot of business people or those that have had businesses that have been forced to close them. For a lot of them that I've spoken to, that actually had that realization that their heart wasn't truly in their business. They would just continue it on because it kind of felt like that's what they had to do. And now they've actually been made to be pulled back and really have to think about that and see if that is definitely where they want to be and what they want to do. So I think that's really fascinating. It's a way of showing us where our strengths and weaknesses are. It's about showing us where we want to go in life. So we're getting this reset to make us rethink where we are currently and where we want to be. So to me, I want to encourage you all to have a good think about that and really take some time to really question things around you that maybe you feel aren't working and that you could actually do some work with. This is also about self-healing for a lot of us. Being isolated and on our own can really make us wake up to some, belief systems that are outdated that we may be still hanging on to. We can do that inner work. We can connect with ourselves without all the distractions of being busy. And for many of us, busy is the new normal. So now all of a sudden we've been pulled back. We're also being made to look at how we spend money. So to move forward with this, we're being asked to put your hand up to what is important and maybe let go of what isn't. Because we do get into the habit of just rolling along and spending money here and there on things that we possibly don't need to, but we just do it out of habit, or we just think that I've got the money there, so I'll spend it. So we're now being called to do a bit of an audit on that. So an audit on what we're spending, not only our money on, but what we're spending time on. And I really feel like there's going to be some amazing breakthroughs that will come through with this, being pulled back. And so there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. For many of us, if you have been pulled back, try and take this time, if you can, to not feed into all the panic and the anxiety, and actually reconnect with yourself and know that you will be okay. It's just a case of hanging in there, doing what feeds you, doing the important things to you at this time, and just going back to basics. Keep it really simple, and that will help you get through. I just wanted to share that message today because it's one that I've been sharing a lot lately. And, there's a lot of people that I've connected with that I've done readings for that have been pulled back, and they're now reassessing and they're changing their path totally swapping out what they're doing. They're doing online courses. They're doing so many things that are building up their pathway onto the next step. So don't be hesitant if you're pulled back, because there'll be a reason that it'll come through that might be one of those things that come through in hindsight. We look back and have this realization. All right, I just wanted to share that before going on to my first reading. Rhonda in Pennsylvania, USA. Rhonda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good, thank you. I hope I come through clearly. We've been a little bit patchy with our internet out in the country, but I'm hoping that it's clear enough for you to hear me?
It's a little scratchy, but it'll be all right.
Ah, beautiful. Okay. Was there something you wanted me to focus on, Rhonda, for you, or just connect in?
I'm just curious what's coming for me this year.
Okay. Let me see. So there's been a reset button. I mean, we've all been pretty much on that with what's going on in the countryside at the moment. But I feel like they're showing me there's actually, it's interesting. There's something that, and I feel like this is going towards something that you do around your career, that you're actually going to find a niche in the way that things have been held back. It's not that you're going to be stuck or stopped. So there's going to be an opportunity for you in amongst this to step into your personal power and step up into what you do best. So is there something you do? Do you work for yourself at the moment?
What was that?
Do you work for yourself at the moment?
I'm not working right now.
Okay. So what is it that there's something, it's like I'm being shown there's something that will take off for you now. And even though I know everything's, being held back, I feel like that's not going to be the case for you. So what is it that you've been wanting to do that maybe you've put off, but it's like the timing now is right for you to step into that?
I've been doing a lot of crafting and selling stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, are you wanting to step up? Is that your big picture? Because I feel like it's almost like Spirit is showing me. I've got a lady stepping in for you in Spirit who's like, come on, let's get this. It's like what you have is what people need right now. So it's almost like, I know with the economy over here, things are a little bit tight and everyone's got that fear of unknown. But there's something about what you offer that would do quite okay in the economic climate that we're in now. Okay, so it's like I just want to land you with that. It's like stepping up into what you're meant to be doing. So this is about the craft is what feeds your soul. I want to say step up into this and look at ways that you can get that out there right at the moment that's going to give people a lift and a boost.
Okay.
Okay, because it's like I'm shown, that this will be embraced by people. So, and I also want to say, or what Spirit is showing me, can I ask, is it Mum that's in Spirit for you? Because I've got this lady and I feel she's feeling quite motherly to me.
Wouldn't be my mom. Maybe my grandmother.
Okay, because it's like she's very motherly to you. When I said Mum, I was a little bit like, she's just very nurturing towards you, and it felt very mother-like energy to me. And there's something like she's handing something down to you. So I feel like with that message, it's like something either she did or was good at, she's handing it to you to say, continue it on.
The only thing I could think is the gifts, because I know I've been opening up quite a bit here in the past 2 years. Two things, and that runs in my family, so.
Yeah, cool. Well, I want you to really focus on that, because it's almost like connecting with that is your intuition guiding you with stepping forward. So I even feel like you would be drawn to do things within your craft and what we were talking about earlier, but add that spiritual element to it, like adding the energy. And I feel like what she's showing me is there's a story. So don't be scared to, with what you're designing, or it's like I feel like you're saying that you do craft, put extra into that creates a story, because I feel like you're capturing, someone's going to look at it and go, wow, that resonates for me. I want that piece. So I even feel like, that's showing me things like even adding crystals in, or things that are meaningful and things that tell a story.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Because it'd be really interesting here, because it's like this is the first thing I had to address for you. So I don't have any doubt. I'd put money on the fact that this will take off with you stepping into it. So it's like, don't allow that seed of doubt or, that inner critic to go, it's not good enough. It's not, I won't do well at this. I really want you to write down your affirmations and go, you know what? this is what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm going to own it. I'm going to step up into it.
Okay.
Okay, because you've got great, like this grandmother around you. She's pretty cool, like I have to say. And it's like you're well guided. So the fact that you already know you've got that psychic side to you, that gift that is part of who you are, we want to embrace that. And I also want to see you promoting yourself, because there's something around the essence of you people like. So I feel like when I'm selling my craft or I'm promoting it, I want to see you on video doing this.
Okay.
All right. She's
All
showing me.
right.
What is it? What is it with your hair? I feel like you've got cool hair. There's something about your hair she's showing me.
I'm a hairstylist, and we're laid off right now because of the virus.
Okay, it's like hair. That's crazy. Well, I used to be a hairstylist too, so I totally get that. But this is about you being creative, and yes, your hairstyling's something that's almost guided you to where you are now. But it's like you're ready to step into really, lifting this up. And I feel like you're working for yourself. Like, so you're producing this. It's like I want to say, do the side hustle, start it off now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's great to hear.
A lot of us, and for a lot of us at the moment, we're being pulled back for exactly that, to really have a rethink on where we want to be. And I feel like you're great with hair, but it's like, there's something more. It's like you've got this yearning inside. I'm doing my hair at the moment, but there's something more for me, and that's what I feel this is.
Okay.
Okay. So don't doubt that. There's a lot of talent around that. She's also showing me it's relevant for you to go to the beach, or like, I know we're in isolation and things, like I don't know how locked down you guys are, but I know we are at the moment. But there's something about I want to go to the beach side. So I don't know whether there's a plan or you've had this in the back of your mind, but I want to, when I get the chance, to go and connect in with the water.
Oh, my daughter and I were just talking about all that.
Woohoo!
You're good. You're good.
Thank you, and so are you. So are you. You're very talented. And I want to say because the Spirit coming through giving me messages, she's like, tell her also to congratulate her on how you juggle things around. So it's like you can manage many things. And she says it's almost like, don't forget that. So even though we've all pulled back at the moment, it's time for you to, keep that juggling. I can do a bit of this and a bit of that, and I know that I'm going to be okay. And it's like she's shown me you're the master at it. So I have to acknowledge you will be fine.
Okay.
I really, really, like, she's strongly showing me that. She says you're really good at it, and she's very proud of you.
Oh.
Very
that
proud
makes me feel good.
Yeah. And I feel like with the psychic side or the guidance, I feel like she had it strongly. Maybe your mum doesn't actually connect in with it, but you do. So it's like it's skipped a generation.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's acknowledging that. So it's almost like she's there going, and there's a little bit of I want to say like a bit of a smile as she's telling me this. It's like, come on, somebody has to step up to this. So it's like, it's up to you. And I do want to say there's another child that's very similar. So I feel like, I don't know whether you've got the daughter or there's the girl she's referring to that has it as well, that is the younger generation.
Oh. But she's scared of it.
Yeah, but she's got it. She's just acknowledging she's got it as well.
Okay. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, perfect. Because it's like she's saying, she's really good too. So it's almost like you need to help her because you understand it. She needs somebody that understands it to help her not fear it.
Okay. I will do that.
Because I feel like she's going to be the one stepping up into this, which is exciting. It's like, yay. Any other questions before I go on to my next caller?
No, ma'am. I just want you to stay safe and have a great night.
Thank you. And thank you so much for connecting. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, honey.
Take care, Rhonda.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. All right, on my next caller, Brandy in Salt Lake City, Utah. Brandy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Really good, thank you. Thank you for calling in and to get a reading. We really appreciate it. Now, do you want me to focus on anything in particular? Let me have a look.
I'm looking at my daughter. She passed away in June unexpectedly.
Yep.
And
okay.
So I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in.
Was it? Okay. Let me connect in. I'm connecting in. When it's mum and daughter, I have a daughter myself, so I totally resonate with that connection. But I also like to make sure that I take the time to connect in for you, because being your daughter, it's just that's such a strong connection. I do want to say that she is strongly around you, and she's also acknowledging she's up there with a male as well. So it's like she's not on her own, and it's almost like it was important to say there's a chap up there with her in the family.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like a little bit like, I'm not on my own, Mum. It's almost like it was really important for her to bring that through for you. Now, there's something she's showing me around her passing. Was there a question mark or something that was incomplete? It's a weird thing to say, but something around she's showing me about incomplete or something around her passing.
We're going to court. We're going to court to get justice, and it's getting close. We have a year to file, and it's getting close.
Okay, cool. Because it's like she's just acknowledging that. She wants you to. Okay, I'm just getting clear on what she's showing me there. All right, yeah, okay. So it's almost like justice will prevail. And when I say that, it's not going to bring her back. So it's like she's acknowledging.
Hello?
She's acknowledging that it's not about necessarily the outcome, but it's about for you being able to let go and move on to the next stage of your grief. And it's like she wants you to let it go once that is done. So it's almost like she doesn't want you held into this, since her passing, there's been a lot of stuff that's been dragging you down. It's almost like you haven't really had a proper chance to grieve for her. Does that make sense to you?
Okay, so I didn't get to hear you. You said she was showing you something.
She wants you to, it's almost like you haven't had a chance to grieve with all that's been going on since her passing. And it's around, there will be justice around this. Like there's that acknowledgement, but it's not going to bring her back, of course. And she just wants you to be able to move on and see mum coming back to being mum again.
Okay.
She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah,
she's a real sweetheart.
A lot of things that came in, and she's right about that, is I haven't had the time to completely mourn because of all the changes and everything that took place.
Yeah. And she wants to acknowledge she's sorry. So she's I don't know whether she didn't get the opportunity to say that to you. That's what I feel like. She's really wanting me to say that to you. I'm sorry, Mum. She never wanted to put you through this. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's like she is around you. And I want to go to, let me see. I even feel like there's a reference to butterflies around her, like as in whether she comes to visit you and there's a sign of her is butterflies. But there's also a connection to going outside of a nighttime in the stars. So I feel like I'm looking at whether you go out of a nighttime and you look for the stars and you look for her.
Yes.
Yeah, she's acknowledging that. And when they come through that's showing you she's around. She's with you and she's seeing what's going on. So she wants you to know that. I feel like in spirit she's got a little bit of a sense of humor as well. And she wants me to bring that through. And there's something about, I see her giggling. She does something to you. And I feel like I want to say And it's a pretty, quite a common one with spirit, but it's like she moved things around and she's laughing, having a giggle about it. So it's like you put, it's almost like I put my keys down and I know that I put them down there, but I've found them somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like she's giggling when this happens. So it's like, know that it's her and you can communicate with her when that happens. So have a laugh with her. It's like she really wants you to join into that laughter. And she is putting her hand up to being responsible to bringing more fun back into your life.
Yeah, that's amazing when you bring the butterflies, because it's butterflies and birds. There's birds when something, I mean, it's just amazing. And I feel like she's sometimes still alive because she's still so close to me. I sense her so much, and I just want to make sure that she's okay. I feel like she had a message for me.
Well, let's try and get to the male that's in spirit. So is your father still here? So I'd like to find out who this is, because it's like she's wanting you to know she's with somebody up there. I'm okay, Mum.
Her uncle.
Okay. And it's like he was a bit of a father figure. I feel like there's a bit of a banter between them, like we're having fun. I'm okay, Mum. She definitely is around you. So it's like all those signs and the fact that you don't feel her gone, it's like she's not. She sees it as she's still around you and you are still together. So know that exactly what you felt is 100% correct. And I do want to say, it's like she gives you signs even moving forward with all that you've been going through. Follow the signs. It's like she's there to show you what you need to do and how this will help move things forward in a positive note.
Okay.
Okay. She's also acknowledging, she wants me to tell you that it's okay for you to move on. So I don't know whether there's connections or whether you're staying somewhere because you feel like if you don't, you won't honour her memory. It's like she wants me to tell you don't worry about that. She's always with you. So if you feel the urge to move or change things around, she is happy with that. And she really wants you to know that.
Okay, because I do a celebration on the 25th of every month, and it's been harder the last few months, and I felt so bad. So that help.
Yeah. And she doesn't want you feeling bad, and it's like she wants, and of course, with all that you've been through, totally understandable, but from her perspective, she's shown me she wants the old mum back and she wants to have fun with you. And there's something around going to visit a place. I don't know whether you used to have holidays as a family somewhere, or she's pointing me out that you need to go somewhere. So I know we're kind of all in a bit of lockdown at the moment, but it's like once that moves through, it's like go back and enjoy those memories because she wants to go back with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
She's telling me you know where I mean. So it's like you already know what I'm talking about.
To go with family, and there's a special spot that I go for her, and the family gets together.
Beautiful. And she loves that. And it's like she's definitely around you all the time, but she wants to see Mum have a bit of fun and be able to enjoy life once again. And I know that as a mum, I can only imagine how hard that would be, but she definitely wants that, she wants that message to be shared with you and to know that she is definitely around. She's also showing me there's something around her smile. I feel like she's got her smile back again. So it's like that's relevant to a message for you.
She's always smiling. She was my happy girl.
Yeah. So it's like there's a big extra smile there. I don't know what, it's almost like there's something relevant in that as well as it just being the message about smiling, but it's like I just feel like it's renewed again. So I'm not sure, maybe prior to her passing, was she not smiling as much? Because it's like now she is smiling again.
She wasn't prior to. There was a lot going on, And she was in a hard place. She was having a little bit of health problems, and it wasn't a good time for her. There was, friends that she had lost. There was a lot of changes going on in her life that she wasn't happy with at the time. We were trying to move forward and make things better.
Yeah, and she acknowledges that. But she definitely comes through also saying, sorry, Mum, like, I'm sorry. So there's a lot of, she wants you to know that. And I feel like that you did to a degree, but it's like she wants to come through in spirit and say that.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Like she just goes back to that. She is happy now, and she wants to, there's almost an aspect of her, or connecting with her energy is like, life was a struggle for her, but I've now, over on the other side, there's not the pain.
Well, I think she knew she was going. Some of the things that she said and did. She passed away like around 11:30, but during the day she was doing things and showing me things, like as if she knew she was going.
Yeah, beautiful. And she's a spiritual soul, definitely, even in spirit. All right, I have to wrap up. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect. I am running out of time. Please feel free to message me, Brandy, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much.
Bye for now. Same time, same place next week, Dave. Thank you.
to A1. You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites.
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is your old buddy, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, Reverend Elliot, coming to you live from the city of New York, where we get together every Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific. I did it again. I did that last week, too. I said mountain. It's like I've run out of tea. You know, I've been drinking a lot of tea lately, and I've run out of tea. 9 Mountain. These letters, you know, we only have, 26 of them, maybe 58. I don't know. I've always felt that there were some letters they were hiding. I don't trust them. So I have to go leave one out of a word. 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific. And we are going to look through the magical window of the tarot, where we can find out what's coming up in our lives. We can find out what is going on in our lives that we don't know about. Things that people don't want you to know about, we can find out. If there's somebody who is at the office, for instance, if you're still working in an office as opposed to home, you know, if somebody's making things bad for you, hey, you know, we can look to see what's going on. There's all kinds of things. Court cases show up in the tarot. People call, ask me about things like love and romance, and then I see that there's a court case going on, and I ask them, and there is. That's what tarot does. It gets right to the heart of the matter. And how does it do that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Don't even believe anyone who says they know. But I have a few theories, and I list them all in my book, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which you can get for yourself if you want to learn how to do this. I think it's a swell way to help people, and it's fun to do at parties. You know, people love it. You just do little readings. I mean, I do fast readings here, but you could do 2 or 3 minute readings, a minute reading at a party. People just love it. They eat it up, and that you can do it free if you want to get practice. That's the best way to get practice in anything, is offer to do it free. But after a while, when you're good at it, then you can just start charging a nice, rational, normal fee to do it at a party. I've done this at art gallery openings. I've done it in restaurants. I've done it in bars. They've hired me to do it. And it's always a good thing. You know what the best time of that, the most fun, is when a bar wants to have a Mardi Gras celebration, and they do it on Mardi Gras, and you just sit there and read cards for the customers. They just love that stuff. It's just fun. So what we're going to do tonight is take another glimpse through the magical window of the tarot. And if you enjoy what you hear and you see the possibilities in this being able to help you, all you've got to do to get a longer reading is contact me at asktarot@earthlink.net. That's ASKTAROT @earthlink.net. It's my nice old-fashioned email, Earthlink. And we have all the time in the world together. You know, when we get on the phone, it's you and me and nobody else. I don't put you on hold for anyone else. I don't leave you waiting. It's just you and me. And we can do it by Skype if you want, if you don't want to do it by phone. I do these things all over the world for people. And the readings, you know, an email reading is just $10. But it'll look deeply at an issue in your life, and you get a 2-page report from me. Now, if you want to do a full reading with me, great. I can do it for 15 minutes, a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, even longer, whatever you want. And you can find the rates at magic-works.com, MAGICK-works.com. Just scroll on down and you'll see the rates, because I believe in listing the rates ahead of time so that you know what you're getting into. And we don't charge any more than that. Once you and I agree on something, that's the price. Even if it takes a little longer, So what? We throw that in as extra. Because, this is unpredictable. As you'll hear in the show tonight, sometimes a reading goes longer than we thought. So what we do is we just keep going. Anyway, that's just letting you know that I'm available. And this is a very good time. A lot of people are nervous. A lot of people are anxious now. There is, as I've mentioned before, there's a lot of highly paid media people whose job is to scare us. And we've been through bad times before. There's no reason to make this into a panic. And getting people scared is how some people make an awful lot of money. And sometimes people do that with tarot too. And that's why I say to people, when they ask me, how should I pick a tarot reader? Anytime you go to a reader, just apply the same thing that you would with any other professional. If you feel worse after dealing with that person than you did before, then you don't go back to that person. They're pulling a scam on you. So, if you get a reading from somebody who says, oh, look at that. I see that you're cursed. Got to go now, and then they call you back and say, oh, by the way, I was thinking, now that you're cursed, I could get rid of that for you. Now, you see, that is a racket. The ethical tarot reader doesn't exploit people. People who call it a tarot reader trust the person, and it's up to us to honor and respect that trust. And that's why, as a member of the American Tarot Association, I'm not just a long-time member, but I'm on the board of directors. I'm the vice president of communications. And can't you tell? I'm a professional communicator. But if you want to go to my website at magic-works.com. And when you scroll down and you look for the rates for a personal tarot reading between you and me, you'll also find a link to the American Tarot Association Code of Ethics. You see? And you look at that and you'll see that is how an honest tarot reader behaves. And if we find out that a member of the ATA is violating those rules, that's it. They're out. No second chance either, because it's trust. It's a matter of trust. And you're calling a stranger, for goodness sakes, and you're opening up and you're telling what's going on in your life. Now, you cannot take advantage of that in good conscience. I'll give you a perfect example. I have had calls from people in these past 2 weeks who want to pay me for a reading to see if they're going to die in the near future. Now, as I said, there's fear out there. Now, what kind of a human being would I be if I took money to exploit that? Then I would be as bad as the newspaper publishers who scream, could this be the end of the world? Could 5 billion people die? There's an old law. And by the way, I'm a journalist myself. I have a lot of journalism history. And I'll tell you something, that there is a law called Betteridge's Law of Headlines. I want you to keep this in mind. You can look it up. They have a marvelous website. Betteridge's Law of Headlines says any headline that ends with a question mark can be answered by the word no. That is going to ease you a lot. And as I said last week, I believe it was, any headline that has the word could in it, or may, or reportedly, is garbage. It's just a way to critically look at this, because like I said, there are a lot of people out there who want us scared so that we would tune in and raise their click rate, raise their viewing audience if it's cable. And that means big money to those people. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing to be concerned about. Of course, there's something to be concerned about now. But to exploit that and scare people and hurt them, that's unconscionable. And I, as an ethical tarot reader, will never, ever, ever, ever do that. And I'm telling you now, if you call me for a reading and we decide to, say, do a 20-minute reading, and at the end of 20 minutes, I see something pretty bad coming your way, I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to keep looking at I'm not going to say, hey, look at that. Your life's falling apart. Bye-bye now. No, that's why I never book tarot readings back to back. Back to back would mean I'm stuck. I'm locked in. I don't do it. I could probably make a bit more money that way, an assembly line way of doing it. But no, I've got to prepare for the chance that the cards may be telling you something you don't want to hear, and we can work through it. Now, I don't really believe that there's such thing as a bad reading, not like in those movies where everybody gets a tarot reading, ends up being killed by like a polar bear in the middle of August in Waikiki. I don't believe that. But it can show you things you don't want to see. Now, that rarely happens because the people who call a tarot reader for advice are very positive people, and they're taking steps, they're taking action to work out whatever the situation in their life is. So that indicates a very positive outcome just by doing that, by taking action. So don't fall for those movies that try to scare you about tarot. That's just cheap horror sensationalism. It's, hey, what can I tell you? You'll know. This is fun to do. I wouldn't have been doing this for 30 years if I didn't enjoy doing it and meeting people and helping people clarify them. And as an adjunct to that, I do magical ritual work so that if something comes your way in your cards that you're not too thrilled about, I can show you how to do some ritual work to get around that. Enough about that. You're going to hear what I do. No point in me telling you what I do. Why don't I just do it? So I've got the incense burning, I've got the candles burning, and I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now to declare that from here on in, we're in sacred space. Now I'm going to pull back the curtain on the magical window for Connie in Litchfield, Minnesota. Hi, Connie. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi.
Hi, Connie. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing better. I'm getting over all the crud.
Well, maybe we can make that even better. How's that? What would you like to look at?
What I want to know is, the guy that I'm currently dating or seeing, is he the one that I'm supposed to be with? Because I don't know if it feels right or not.
Oh, well, you mean the violins aren't playing? And the soundtrack in the background and all that. I think Hollywood has ruined romance for people, I don't know. It's Hollywood has given people such weird expectations about romance. I was involved with a woman once for a couple of years, and she was really happy and said to me, you know something? I'm so happy with you, I'm going to leave you. What? She said, because if I'm this happy with you, imagine how much happier I'll be with somebody better. And I said, oh, okay. And then she said, but don't worry, if I don't find anyone better, I'll come back to you. And I said, you do that and see what happens.
Yeah. I take it you didn't see her again, right?
Oh, I saw her from time to time, but no dice, I mean, we ran into each other here and there. But after that, gosh, this is going back long before most of you listeners were born, right? But I've been married now for like over 30 years, So, boy, am I going to get in trouble for not knowing. I'm going to get in trouble for not knowing the exact date right offhand,
Yeah.
But it's 34 years now. So let's see. Let's take a look at what you've got, because this call is about you, not about me. Now, here we go. This is an excellent card for what I just asked, because it's the 7 of Cups. Cups are about romance because it's about emotion and things of the heart. The 7 of Cups may be indicating what's going on here, because that's a person with unfocused ideas. So you really don't quite know for sure if this is the right one.
Right.
The next card.
Yeah, I don't, because I have kind of a habit of picking people that aren't always so good. So that's why I'm just
you and everyone else, right? I used to be able to go into a crowded room and pick the one person who was going to be the best at ruining my life.
Yep, that would be me.
Yeah, well, then a couple of years of therapy helped me out there too. But, well, isn't that funny how that works? We can spot them, right? Well, let me tell you this. The next card is the Star. Now, the Star is a card of hope and optimism. So that's telling me that with this particular person, you got a good chance.
Okay.
Now, the next card is the 4 of Rods, and that's about a happy home. And then here's an interesting card, is the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is about it's about 2 different things. It could be the beginning of a new relationship, or it could mean that a relationship you're in is going to reach a new level. And that's how I'm going to interpret that in this particular reading. I say give it time, hang out, get to know each other. How long have you known each other?
Only a couple months, 2 months maybe.
Okay. Yeah. So that's still you just come. You're coming out of that.
Yeah, it's a long distance thing too, so it's that's hard to.
Yeah, so it's long. Oh, that adds a lot to it. Well, I'm seeing here that there's great possibilities because I've got two very happy cards here. I've got the 10 of cups and I've got the 4 of rods, and those are 10 of cups is perfected happiness. Now, out of 5 cards here, 3 of them are cup cards. So that's telling me that the cards really are responding to your question because it was about emotions and romance and love. There's a possibility, very strong possibility, that you are going to reach a new level with this person and reach a lot of happiness. So give it a little more care than you usually do, is what I'm saying, because the key to this is that first card, the 7 of Cups, unfocused ideas.
Okay.
And that's easy to fix. That'll snap into focus. And if it's still new, you only have a few months with each other. So get into it and let it, see if it'll grow. And if it doesn't, if it doesn't, then you can try again or give me another call and we can see what's happening. I could probably give you a lot more detail if we were off the air and we were doing a full reading, but I don't know that you need any more than that because this is a pretty good lesson here. Going from unfocused ideas, followed by the card of optimism, the card of a happy home, the card of a relationship reaching a new level, and then the 10 of Cups, which is perfected happiness. So I think this time you've come closer to getting what you want than you have before.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, that does feel good. And let me see if I can pull one more card. Maybe we can put it underneath all these cards to see what the underlying issue is. Well, there you go. That's the King of Cups. Now that's another cup card. So I've got 6 cards here. 4 of them are cups. So we're definitely on the right track here. The King of Cups is the manifestation of something. This is showing that the court cards are about something beginning and growing and forming. And the further on you get in the court cards, from the knight to the queen to the king to the page, it takes more and more shape. So this is telling me that it is taking shape, that this relationship is growing, and the King of Cups tells me that you are right now at a point where this is really taking shape and happening. So give it a shot, and check back with me, or if you can't get through and Ask One Radio again, because I know a lot of people try to get through but don't. Drop me a line at asktarot@earthlink.net, and maybe we can arrange for another reading. How's that? So this is looking good for you, Connie, and thanks for calling. Let me just shuffle up the cards now. You are on Reverend Elliott's Magical Window. Well, some of you are on it. You're all listening anyway. You're listening to Reverend Elliott's Magical Window, where we get together to look through the magical window of the tarot. Now, you see how that worked? That was fascinating, because the only cards that I got that weren't cup cards in that call, one was about a happy home, and the other was a major card, which was about hope and optimism. So that's pretty good. Danielle in Princeton, West Virginia, you're on with Reverend Elliott. Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I just love the energy I get from doing this show, and I think that the energy builds up from all the people listening, and it just shoots down through the satellites and over the air and right into me, and I just feel great. It's so energizing. It's just marvelous.
That's good.
You got a great laugh. Now, see, that helps an old stand-up performer like me. When you hear somebody laugh, why, that's good. So what can I look at for you? What can I look at? You got me laughing now.
I just want to know about my ex.
About your ex?
Yeah.
Okay, I asked that because this is a fascinating card that I got before you even asked me the question. And I've got 3 more cards in the same suit. Let me ask you, first of all, was this like a relationship that was filled with fighting?
Not really. In the end, it turned to fighting.
Okay, because so it was
we
argument.
We were together for almost 11 years, and it just in the end, we really began to fight a lot.
Well, here's why I ask you that. I have 4 cards here, and they're all swords. Now, swords are a weapon. And when swords come up, that can indicate several things. But in this case, I go with the idea that it was a kind of it got nasty, and it got to be a struggle. Let me tell you something. When I started reading tarot cards in my early youth, I was in my 30s at the time, but I was reading for a married couple who hated each other. I mean, they just hated each other. And every kind of reading, I would shuffle the cards. I would do whatever I could. It would always come out with a majority of swords because they hated each other. Now, swords they don't always mean that. But right now, when you ask me about, even before you asked me the question, I got the 10 of swords. And then I got the 4 of swords and the 6 of swords and the 2 of swords. Now, I'll tell you what that is. Overall, it's telling me that this was a kind of a tempestuous relationship, to put it kindly. The 10 of swords, the reason my ears perked up when you asked about your ex was the 10 of swords refers to something being over. So this is over, Now, the 4 of swords is where it's about somebody taking a break. A lot of people look at that card and think it means that you're dead, but so the same with the 10 of swords, but neither one of them means that. The 4 of swords is about taking a break, taking time out. And that's what you did, right? You separated, you took a break from each other. The 6 of swords, now let me tell you, when I get to the end of this reading, you're just going to be a little disappointed, but we're going to work with that. The 6 of swords is a card about a person who gets from where she is now to where she wants to be. So that's you. There's something you want out of this, and you're going to work to get it, right?
Right.
Now, here's the thing that you're not going to like at the moment, but we'll work with it. It's the 2 of swords, and that's a person who's stuck and can't go this way or that way. It's a card about a stalemate. It's a card about a relationship that's stuck, that nothing is going to happen. So my card reading on this is that you're still going to need more of a timeout.
Okay.
Now, oddly enough, I got another card here, which is swords, the Ace of Swords. So that's 5 sword cards. Now, the Ace of Swords is a little bit of a different thing here. That's telling me the Ace of Swords means seeing things in a new way of thinking, because swords are also about mental activity.
Right.
And in this sense, it's telling me that there's a possibility that you and your ex's attitudes may change. I'm not counting it out. And I can't count it out because of that 6 of Swords cards, which shows me that you're the kind of person who can try to get what she wants. So keep in mind, this is just fascinating that all 5 cards are swords.
It's funny because we fussed and we fought for a long time after the breakup. Now we're able to actually talk. We're like, we don't argue no more. We get along a whole lot better. Like our attitudes towards each other has actually changed.
Well, there you go. That's the Ace of Swords. There's a new way of seeing things. Now, while you were talking, as a good tarot reader does, I pulled another card, and I got another ace. Now, aces are beginnings. Remember, I said the Ace of Swords, you're beginning to see things in a new way, and so is your ex.
Right.
The next is the Ace of Cups, and that is the beginning of emotional happiness. So I think you have a good shot at it. I told you that 2 of Swords is going to be a little disappointing because it means that you're stuck and the situation isn't going to change. But that only means it isn't going to change now. Okay? These cards now show me that there's a very strong chance of it changing in the future. Now, you mix that with the 4 of Swords that I got earlier, and it's telling me that you just may need a little time out. Now, again, I want to go back to the 6 of Swords because you are a person of action. And maybe you just want to hold off a little while because that's difficult for you. See, this is the problem. The 4 of Swords is a person taking time out. The 6 of Swords is a person making things happen. So you've got this dual attitude going in your mind, right? You don't know, should you do this or should you not do it? Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, see, aren't these cards wonderful? Isn't it wonderful how they work? Well, my answer to you is give it time, but I'm going to take one more card and see if that one card may add something to this. How's that?
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Oh, man. You know something? This was the card that was on my mind. I could not give you a better card. It's the Chariot. You know what the chariot is? If it's a chariot, shows a lot of decks show a guy on a little chariot with two horses, and one horse wants to go this way, and the other horse wants to go that way, and you, as the driver of the chariot, are holding it together, and you're making it happen. So that's the card that I put underneath the Four of Swords and the Six of Swords. That doesn't really help much. It explains the situation exactly the way I told you, is that you have conflicting forces that you got to deal with. But that's telling me that you can deal with it. Let's look at a card for the ultimate outcome. The ultimate outcome, I had this earlier for someone, is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is perfected happiness. So you're moving from the Ten of Swords, which is about something bad is over, to the Ten of Cups, which is about something wonderful and happy. So I think that you're going to, I'm going to give you exactly what I read in these cards. Things are changing for you and your ex. They're changing for the better, but you still need time. Okay? So my advice is not to don't do anything, because that's ridiculous. But my advice is to go a little slower. And remember that Four of Swords, because that could be your ex, which is the need for more time. But I think you're both growing, and you're both getting there, and you're both going to get what you want. This is a marvelous reading. I'm going to read those cards again, just one by one. The Ten of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Two of Swords, the Ace of Swords. And then after that, we get the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups, which are happy cards. And underneath it all is the Chariot, which says you are working to keep this together. So see, don't let that work overburden you. And see if you can get your ex to do a little work too, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. It's been great reading for you. And I mean, these cards really responded to you. And you are definitely evolving. And these things, I can't imagine a reading more on point. I think you're coming into getting exactly what you two want if you can do it. You know, you have a good shot at it, and that's a long way from that first card of somebody, the Ten of Swords, which shows a person lying face down in the mud with swords in her back. You know, that's a long to go from there to the Ten of Cups. That's beautiful. So keep doing what you're doing, but just pull back a little bit, because I think that it requires a little more daintiness, if that's the word. Just let it flow naturally. According to the flow of these cards, you're getting there. You're getting what you want.
Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Danielle. It's been great talking to you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And we'll shuffle them up again. What a dynamic reading that was. You know, we live for that, we readers. We really do. And it's funny, you see, even before the subject of how's the ex doing came up, I had those sword cards, you know, that told me that this was going to be about a relationship that ended, or something that ended. I just understood it to be a relationship by looking at the other cards. That's how it goes, you know, and that's marvelous when the cards can. This is what I mean by information. These cards are shedding light. They're giving advice. Now, notice that the cards. One of the kind of readings that we shouldn't do is, should I sell my home right now? You know, should I put that money into the stock market? Yes or no? You know, we don't do that. When people ask me a yes or no question, my answer is always flip a coin, heads yes, tails no. Because as soon as that coin is up in the air, you're going to know which way you want it to land. So you really do know what you want most of the time. But instead of saying, should I put money in the stock market, the question would be, if I put money in the stock market, what will that look like? That we can work with. A tarot reader can sink his teeth into that, even real teeth. You know, you could tear that, and you could tear into that. You could really do it. And like I said, when you get a longer tarot reading with me at very affordable rates, why, we just spend all the time we need, and we get it done just talking, you and me, like this, without a few million people listening. We're all shuffled up now, and Jessica in Venice, Louisiana is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot, Jessica.
Yes.
Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
Well, let's see if we can make that any better. What would you like me to look at for you?
My friend passed away.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Was that suddenly?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible. It's just terrible. Recently, I assume, right?
Yeah.
So are you looking for a message?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what I can do. I don't usually, well, this is almost a joke now because I always say this. I don't usually do this, but I do it if certain cards show up, and then I know I'm on the right track. So let's see if they show up for you. And if not, and I'm just going to tell you what I see anyway and go on the supposition that that this is what that is. So I'm going to shuffle them up again.
Okay.
Now, cut the cards, and okay, this is interesting stuff. I do believe that this is giving an answer to your question. Was this person very unhappy?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, I'll tell you why I asked that. Because the first card I have is the Three of Swords, and that is a card of great sorrow. That's sadness, and that sometimes indicates divorce, or if it was for a nation, it would indicate civil war. I mean, it's a sad card. It means family troubles, all kinds of bad things like that. But immediately after that is the Ten of Coins. The Ten of Coins, and this is fascinating in the context of a person who has passed over. The Ten of Coins is a card of parents and grandparents and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-grandparents. It's about ancestors. It's about your whole family line, and it's being with them. So I'm reading this as a person who is now with all the ancestors. Now, of course, that's the old Chinese expression to say when somebody passes away that he is now with his ancestors. But that's what I'm seeing here. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is here, and that tells me that the situation the person had, the very sad situation the person had, has changed. The next card is the Six of Rods. That's a card of success. And the next card is the Ten of Cups, which I've had twice so far tonight, is a card of happiness. So now get this. We start with the Three of Swords, which is great sadness, and we end with the Ten of Cups, which is great happiness. So I'm seeing that this person, it's scant comfort, of course, but people always would say, well, he's in a better place now. But that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that your friend is, in fact, in a better place. The Three of Cups is here now. That's a card about being with friends. So I don't think your friend was particularly happy with life at the moment. How did your friend pass?
Oh, we don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just seeing that there was such an overwhelming sadness at the time, but that's turned into happiness.
Okay.
So that's the message I'll give you. That's the message I've got here. Now, in fact, here's one of the cards that I look for in all of this to see if I'm really dealing with somebody in the other side is the Judgment card, which refers to the Last Judgment, where the people come up out of the grave and all of that, and the horn is blowing and the sun is rising. And I have the Judgment card here. So I'm taking this as an authentic message from the other side, which is I was sad, I'm happy now. I was with, I was hurting. I'm with people who are my people now. My ancestors have welcomed me, and the sad situation has changed. That's the Wheel of Fortune, and all the rest is happiness and companionship and joy. So it's just amazing to start with one of the saddest cards in the deck, the Three of Swords. I would say only the Nine of Swords is sadder, and end up with the Ten of Cups, which is one of the happiest cards in the deck. So that's the message. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. And I you know what I'm going to do after the show? I'm going to light a candle. I'm going to light a white candle anointed with holy oil for your friend and for you. How's that?
That works. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And thanks for calling. Now we'll shuffle them up. Those are, to tell the truth, my favorite kind of readings are the readings that people ask me, just look at the cards and see what they say, because that's a real challenge. And the ones that really make me a little nervous are the ones to look across the veil into the afterlife, because, I got a collection of Ouija boards, and I've had some interesting experiences with those. And it is, oh, man, I mean, it's just, you never know what you're going to find. You never know what you're going to do. I was once asked years ago by somebody, could you tell me how this person is doing? The person who passed away. And the card I got was the devil, And oh, man, she said, I knew it. I knew he was going to go there. I knew he was going to end up there. That was the end of the reading. That was a short reading. That was a one-card reading, friends. That's all it was. So let's just shuffle up the cards again, and I will tell you a little bit more. Oh, by the way, speaking of Ouija boards, if you have any questions about Ouija boards, you go to my site, magic-works.com. I think this has got to be the biggest page in my whole website, is the one on Ouija boards. It's crammed with information and pictures and fun stuff. You can download sheet music from the 1920s that has a song by, I don't remember if it's Albert von Tilzer or Harry von Tilzer. They were two big songwriters in the early 20th century. One of them wrote "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Hey, you don't get a bigger hit than that. And no, there was no pun intended. That was, that brings back such memories of the time I went to Yankee Stadium. You can believe that? Been a New Yorker all my life, natural-born New Yorker, been to Yankee Stadium once, just once. Mickey Mantle was playing, so I guess I got my money's worth. So go to magic-works.com, magic-works.com, and you will see a whole bunch of stuff there. I'm now updating and putting in some new instructions on my page about out-of-body experiences. Have you ever done that? You ever traveled outside your body? I have done some remarkable experiments with not remote viewing per se, although I have a page about that too under the ESP page, but actually leaving your body and going somewhere and time traveling. Oh, boy, you can do some stuff with that. I have had remarkable experiences in my own life just going back in time to witness certain incidents in my life from my childhood. And I've seen it. I've been there. It's like Total Recall, but you're seeing it from another point of view. I can teach you how to do that stuff too. I have a meditation there, a visualization meditation that you can download and use. I have all kinds of free stuff on my website, magic-works.com. Then I have mojoacademy.org for Mojo Brothers books. Now that isn't free. The stuff there, I mean, but you take a look at it because there's books there that will change your life. Books and now audio and some video too. Check those out because along with tarot reading, those are the kind of things I really like doing, is getting into the magical side of things and showing people how to really enhance their lives through things like meditation. Now, meditation is where it's at, especially in troubled times. Meditation is hard to do. Meditation, if you try to shut your mind down, your mind is going to say, hey, wait a minute, who's the boss around here? So it's going to be very difficult. But I have some guided meditations that you should know about. You could check out the meditation page at magic-works.com. And also, there's a recording from the 1950s that's probably one of the first guided relaxation meditations ever done. And we have reissued that. You check that out. I will put a link up to that on my Facebook page also, which is my Facebook tarot page. You can get to that also just through ask1radio.com or through magic-works.com. You and I, we're going to do a lot of things together one of these days to improve your life and my life too, because I don't do these things for you. I do them with you. So when you grow, we all grow, and I grow. And that's one of the things about a tarot reading with me is that we both learn. I mean, that's the way it is. I'm not like some power from on high. I'm just a regular guy who took the time to learn how to read and interpret tarot cards. You can do that too. We'll talk about that later. Right now, Tracy in Dallas is on. Hi, Tracy. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Amidst all of the chaos that's going on right now. Doing fine.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I mean, I'm in New York, so people driving around. People driving around the country with New York license plates are getting avoided on the roads. So
wow. Well, my heart goes out to all of the citizens in New York at this time, and all across the world, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let me tell you something. It's really not. It's really not as dire as the media is making it out to be. I do the numbers every day. I look at the health department. I look at the Centers for Disease Control, and right now, this is always a surprise to people. Right now in New York City, the number of people who have picked up this virus, it's 2/5 of 1% of the population. So we got it pretty much under control. It's not ain't no nightlife to speak of, and I think there's a few bartenders who think I must have died. But this is 2/5 of 1% of the population. That's pretty good. So we got to at least give each other credit for keeping this thing in check. The human beings have centuries of experience with outbreaks like this, so we all know what to do, which is to apply some common sense stuff, which is, stay 6 feet away and wash your hands and stay in if necessary. And of course, me being an old geezer, I'm probably got to go a little lighter too, so there you go.
Right. I understand. Well, I agree with you. And, over time we'll get through this and then carry on with life. And new world that we're approaching is, it's going to be an exciting new world.
Yeah, we're going to get through this. And like I always tell people, just remember, the fear is worse than the disease, because fear, and I have something, if you look at my page on my website, this goes for everyone listening, magic-works.com, magic with a CK, check out the page called Healing Power. Now, this is not like mystical stuff that's going to heal you, because that doesn't exist. The stuff I have there is about the body's innate ability to heal itself, which we all have. And one of the things that any doctor will tell you that, and I'll give you a grotesque example of it. Any doctor will tell you that if you're in a state of fear, your immune system shuts off, because your body doesn't have the energy to use the immune system if it has to run, like fight or flight. So whatever you can do to not be afraid, do it. We're watching reruns of the old Batman show here, because that's just goofy and funny. There was a case, I'll tell you about this, about what fear does and why. And this, I'm going to make this as delicate as possible, but there was a murder case years ago, I think in the 1930s, where a person was seen having dinner in a restaurant and then was found murdered. And in the autopsy, they saw that the food was barely digested. So they figured he was killed shortly after having dinner, but they kept the guy tied up in a basement so his digestion stopped out of fear. And then that way they could trick people about the time of the killing. So listen, before we go on and on, what do you want to see in the tarot cards?
Well, I'm very much interested in my future. And I have a lot of faith in the overcoming of this situation, and I'm looking forward to a fresh new start. And just would like to kind of
wait a minute. Bingo, right there. Right, the minute you said fresh new start, what did I do? I pulled out the Ace of Cups. The aces are beginnings. Okay. You said the magic word there. And the Ace of Cups is about the beginnings of happiness. It's about the beginning it's got a sunrise, in a lot of the decks. So it's about a whole new day. You just really hit that. Now, the next card is the Empress. That's a person who can make things grow and make things happen. You're a very creative person, am I right?
That's correct.
Well, you're going to use that creativity and you're going to make things happen.
Mm-hmm. Great. I do a lot of writing and sketching and drawing and singing and a lot of different creative. That's where I get my mojo at, I guess.
Well, the arts are where it's at, because that's the expression, and that is so good. And let me tell you something else, and this goes for everyone listening. If you really want to put yourself in a good, upbeat mood, this is phenomenal stuff. I meant to talk about this last week, and I put something on my website about this. The people who make a list of things that they're grateful for in life will stay happier than the average person for the next 2 months.
Oh, wow.
So that's something that everybody can do too, is let's all make a list of something we're grateful for. But what I'm seeing here is that, like here, this is There's the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is about a new way of seeing things, a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing the world. So yeah, you're headed for a really, really good time. The Sun is the next card. Healing, growth, health, all the good things from the Sun. So I only stopped you because what you said was exactly the card that I got about a new start and happiness and growth. So you're headed for the time of your life, literally.
Great. I feel that as well. I mean, I'm excited, you know. And
well, the cards are confirming what you feel. That's for sure.
Great.
Well, I'm going to see if I can get one more reading in before I go. I've only got a few minutes left, but keep in touch. I'm here every Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific, and we will get through this. And we're all going to keep as positive as we can. Okay.
Well, I was excited, and I'm grateful for you guys to have me on, and you are an amazing host, and I'm going to continue to listen to the show, and I encourage everyone out there to keep listening.
Thank you very much. That's a beautiful thing to say. I really appreciate it. You made my night. Bye-bye.
Great. All right.
Now, I got the cards all shuffled up. Let's see if we can get in one more call. And Corinna in Washington. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi.
Hi. What can I look at for you tonight? Don't mean to rush you, but we're up against the clock here. It's amazing how fast this goes. What would you like to look at?
My romance. The romance.
Romance. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Well, you're facing a lot of competition, is what I'm seeing here in terms of romance. But things are going to happen. I've got that's the Five of Rods. It's about stiff competition. I've got exactly the kind of cards you're going to want, too. The Eight of Rods is about something that's on the way now. It's just like that feeling that I had with the last call, that something is coming good. There's something coming at you, and the next card tells what it is. And the next card is the Two of Cups. Okay, the Two of Cups is the card for the beginning of a new relationship and a new romance, or if you're in a relationship, it means it's going to reach a new level. So that's coming right at you now. Now, here's the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is the beginning of a new relationship that's just taking shape. Remember, cups are about romance and emotion and all of that good stuff. And the Knight is the beginning. Now, the Knight can be a little uncertain because the Knight is on horseback, so it jumps around, like on a chessboard even. But it means that something new and exciting is coming. Oh, bingo, the Ace of Cups. How many times do I get the Ace of Cups tonight? That means we're all on the verge of something good coming. So yes, there is. The Eight of Swords is the first card I got, which is a person who feels that there's nothing happening, that you're stuck, you're not going anywhere. The Five of Rods is the card that led me to say that there's some stiff competition out there, but the Eight of Rods says something is coming, and the next three cards tell me exactly what it is. There is no doubt in my mind. Two of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups. That's a relationship. That's a romance. Okay?
Okay.
And I think it's going to be really good for you.
What I needed to know.
I've got two more cards here. Get this. The Lovers. Now, there you go. You can't get better than that. And the Temperance card, which is a card of balance, which tells me it's going to be a really good relationship. It's going to be well balanced for you. So let me know how it works out. You got something really good coming just around the corner.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that's it, folks. Here, we just shuffle the deck up. And that's it. We've got through another edition of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, the show that asks the question, when will he stop talking and read those cards? I just love communicating, and I get such a burst of energy. Sometimes I listen back to these shows and I hear, hi, this is Reverend Elliot, at the beginning of the show. And by the end, I'm talking like 9,000 miles an hour. I could keep going forever. In fact, if you called me after the show somehow, if you emailed me, we'd probably get into a conversation. But don't do that because I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. I usually don't get to sleep till about 7 in the morning after I do the show because I'm so keyed up. But there's so much positive energy out there, folks, and that's what I want you to stick with. I want you to stick with the positive energy. Remember, I told you, fear and stress can make us sick. I have a link to an article about that at the Healing Power page on magic-works.com. I have a 10-minute video by Dr. Bruce Lipton. Look him up. That is a doctor. I mean, we're talking about a healer, a real doctor. And he knows that he doesn't heal anybody. Now, that sounds odd, right? But he knows that we heal ourselves. We all, when you cut yourself and you put a bandage on it and then it's healed. How'd you do that? There's a lot of stuff you did that you don't take credit for, You got blue eyes? How did you do that? You did that. They're your eyes, you see. So there's power there. We all have more power than we know. And in fact, I have a book about that. It's called Bending Spoons with Your Mind and Other Miracles of Mind Power. Folks, if you needed mind power ever in your life, it's during a time of stress and fear. You can't let that get to you because the fear itself can damage you forever. Fear is deadly. And that's why I always talk about the book Unmasking Fear, which you'll find at mojoacademy.org. I'm not going to go on and on and on and on about that. Just check it out. You will thank me for it if you read it. You can see at Amazon.com, and you go to the link, that there are 2 people there who wrote reviews about how important this book is. These are verified readers who bought the book. So we'll be talking about this in the weeks to come, because don't give in to fear and don't give in to stress. Easier said than done. I can show you how to do it. I can show you how to make that happen. So I've got to go now. We're going to be out of here in a matter of seconds. So until next week, remember, time flies. It's 2 minutes. Have I really got 2 minutes to go? Yeah, okay. Wow. Well, so what can we talk about for 2 minutes? Let's see. I'll tell you what I'll do. I shuffled up the cards. Let's pull out a card to see what the situation in the world is like now. Bingo. Again. Gosh, I love these cards. The Star. Hope and optimism. Hope and optimism. Now, you couldn't get a better reading than that. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune. That means this too is going to change. The situation is going to change. The Tower struck by lightning. Notice that these are all major cards. That means the situation is going to change, and it's suddenly. And the next one, unbelievable. Also a major card. It's the Sun, the card of healing and growth. Just what I got for the man who called from Texas, Tracy. We got the Sun, which is healing and growth and happiness and health and all the good things. People think bad things come from the sun because we're trained to think that the sun is going to poison us and kill us. But that's only if you overdo it. People who work out in the sun actually have a lower rate of sun-related diseases than other people who try to cram in sun, a day at the beach and do that. Nope. So listen, that is the prognosis that I see. The Star, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, the Sun. These are outstanding, positive, wonderful cards. Again, go to my website, magic-works.com, magic-works.com. You can contact me through the contact form there if you want a full reading. If you feel you need a reading, you need someone to talk to, give me an email. Send me an email. Shoot me an email. But go to magic-works.com and look at the Healing Powers page and see how dangerous stress is. So now I'll say it again. Till next week, remember, time flies. It's up to you to be a navigator. Bye-bye now.